Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Pokemon. Pick up the Super Dream Treasure box at the beginning. Chapter 41. The more people expect something, the less likely it will happen. On the contrary, the less hope a person has for something, the more likely it is to happen. Life is so up. Coincidentally, I met Wong Ming now. The reward in the treasure chest far exceeded his expectations. It's not some crooked thing, nor is it some junk. It's a fighting skill learning machine. This thing is not something you can have if you want it. At least, with Wong Ming's current strength, there is no way to do it. Being able to get a fighting skill learning machine here was no less than a huge surprise for him. Which fighting skill should I choose? There are many fighting type skills, and apart from those that are too weak, there are also many good skills. Such as Absorbing Fist, Tile Split, Mysterious Sword. But Wong Ming has more to consider than just these. In addition to the power and effect of the skills, Wong Ming also needs to ensure the compatibility between the skills and the elves. In other words, his elf must be able to learn. Otherwise, if it looks good but is of no use, why do we need him? As of Ace, Gardevoir and the others can learn not many fighting skills. Wakai is one, and they can also learn Chi Bombs. As for the others, in the end, after careful consideration, Wong Ming chose the Chi Bomb. As a special skill of the fighting system, Chi Bomb is not only extremely powerful, but it is also the most suitable for his elves. Because whether it is Mewtwo, Gengar, or Gardevoir, they all take the special attack route, which is the same type as the Chi Bomb. The giant pincer mantis is an exception, taking the route of physical attack. It's a pity that due to his own limitations, the fighting skills he can learn are only one Tile Split, which is very limited. Therefore, Wong Ming did not consider its plan for the time being. Just learn from Mewtwo. After some thinking, Wong Ming gave Cheomong the Chi Bomb skill learning machine to use. As his most powerful elf, Mewtwo's strength is unquestionable. Chi Bombs can also exert the greatest effect on Cheomong. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your elf Mewtwo has learned the skill Chi Bomb. Please choose to forget one of the skills. Almost at the same time, Wong Ming received a prompt from the system. It's just that this reminder sound really makes people unhappy. I have to forget my skills again. Wong Ming smiled bitterly and began to browse Cheomong's existing skills. That's it. After browsing it roughly, Wong Ming made a decision in his mind. Forget about power swaps. The power swap and autosuggestion effects are repeated, there is no need to keep them all. Wong Ming swapped defenses before for this reason. After doing all this, Wong Ming did not stay on the 5th floor, but went directly to the 6th floor. He knew that a more powerful opponent was waiting for him above. Another space. The 5th floor of the Elf Tower. A young man was grinning wildly and breathing heavily. The sparkle in his eyes showed how excited he was at this moment. Well done, Frog. Now, no one should be faster than us. The young man was very excited and held the frog in his arms. This is the first elf he has captured in this world, and he has successfully evolved through day and night experience. They are best partners, fighting side by side, all the way from the 1st floor to the 5th floor of the Elf Tower. Clear all levels, in less than half an hour. This achievement is enough to be proud of. In fact, he was indeed very proud. Let's go to the 6th floor. I've made a reservation for number 1 this time. No matter who the player is, they will all be my stepping stones. I am the ultimate winner. The young man laughed loudly and entered the 6th floor with absolute arrogance. The 6th floor of the Elf Tower. Wong Ming did not see the elves guarding this lair, but heard the prompts from heaven. Congratulations on successfully reaching the 6th floor. The challenge on this floor will be in doubles mode. You can send 2 of your own elves to fight, or you can choose to cooperate with other players. No matter which form of fighting you take, you can only enter the next level if you defeat all the guardian elves on this level. You have 1 minute to think, please choose. Wong Ming was a little surprised. He knows the doubles mode, which is commonly known as 2v2. But he didn't expect to be able to choose teammates. Maybe it's because other players may only have 1 elf. Wong Ming guessed. After all, not everyone is as proud as him. Even if you have 4 elves, they are all so good. Oh, I almost forgot, there is also a variety monster. Although, there is no sense of existence. I choose to fight alone. In one breath, Wang Ming made his choice. Not afraid of godlike opponents, but afraid of pig-like teammates. Wang Ming has a deep understanding of this wise saying. Rather than leaving his fate to his teammates, he prefers to take it into his own hands. Please start your challenge. As Tiandao's voice fell, two elves appeared out of thin air in front of Wang Ming, both at level 25. One is a long-tailed firefox, and the other is also a long-tailed firefox. Gone. Wang Ming couldn't help cursing. I made a mistake today. Even though both elves are fire-attributed elves, they still look exactly the same. Are you irritating or not? Judging from this situation, the giant pincer mantis is definitely not allowed. Otherwise, it will look like a red mantis when you go up, and it will become a braised mantis when you come down. Gengar, Gardevoir, I'm leaving it to you two this time. Wang Ming released Gengar and Gardevoir. This is also his only choice. Shanae, Gengar. Gengar and Gardevoir looked at each other, and both saw blazing flames in each other's eyes. They all started to get excited. Gengar, use Strange Light. Gardevoir, use Shadow Ball. The battle is imminent. Gengar's eyes released two strange rays of light, shooting at the two long-tailed firefoxes respectively. Dark purple energy balls gathered in Gardevoir's hands, and the terrifying energy solidified the surrounding air, with the possibility of exploding at any time. Not to be outdone, the two long-tailed firefoxes spit out a stream of high-temperature flames from one mouth, transformed into a ferocious fire dragon, and roared towards Gardevoir. One waved his arm and released a phantom light, shooting towards Gengar. Boom! Gardevoir's shadow ball collided with one of the fire dragons and exploded in the air. Flames scattered all over the sky, like flaming meteors falling from the sky. Both sides are dodging to avoid being affected. The strange and cunning light crossed the sea of fire and hit the two long-tailed firefoxes directly. In an instant, the long-tailed firefox felt dizzy and couldn't distinguish between east, west, north and south, let alone companions and enemies. The strange light worked, putting the two long-tailed firefoxes into chaos. The phantom light came at the same time, aiming directly at Gengar. There is no retreat, there is no escape. At the critical moment, Gengar jumped back. A shadow ball condensed in his hand and hit the phantom light. Boom! Two powerful energies collided and exploded instantly. The resulting aftermath forcefully forced Gengar to retreat steadily. Fortunately, Gardevoir helped it out in time and it was not seriously injured. Don't give up the opportunity to attack, use the shadow ball together. Wang Ming was not worried about this sudden little accident. Instead, he was always paying attention to the changes on the field. The long-tailed firefox, which was hit by the strange light, began to be unable to distinguish the enemy and launched an attack on its companions. Wang Ming seized this golden opportunity. Shanae, Gengar, Gardevoir and Gengar reacted quickly, launching their moves almost as soon as Wang Ming finished speaking. Two shadow balls containing the most powerful energy and the will to win hung high in the air, blooming with the most dazzling light. The entire 6th floor of the Elf Tower was brightly illuminated, becoming the only bright spot in this space. Whizzing. The sound of breaking through the air was like a horn of attack, blown at this moment. The two shadow balls carried an unstoppable momentum, like meteors from the sky, sliding down from the sky and falling to the earth. Along with it fell the life of the long-tailed fire fox. Boom! The explosion inevitably occurred. The deafening sound echoed in the space for a long time. It's like a song of victory, celebrating victory in battle. Ha ha ha, well done. Wang Ming laughed loudly, venting his inner joy. Zhang Gui and Gardevoir also ran over excitedly and hugged Wang Ming tightly. Especially for Gardevoir, the soft spring on his chest was squeezing Wang Ming's body, making his blood boil, and his whole body became restless. Fortunately, the coolness coming from Zhang Gui's body dispelled the evil thoughts. Otherwise, Wang Ming really wanted to squeeze it hard. Rumbling. At this moment, the stone door suddenly opened. The door to a higher level is open to him. Let's go, the real test is waiting for us ahead. Wang Ming was confident and heroic, and embarked on the journey with Gengar and Gardevoir. Will you meet that guy? The 6th floor of the Elf Tower. Wang Mengmeng clasped her hands with anticipation, waiting for her teammates to arrive. Yes, she passed the level. Relying on his own strength, he reached the 6th level abruptly. To put it bluntly, she was lucky. The guardian elf on the 5th floor happened to be a fire-attributed elf, and was restrained by her Kami turtle, so she luckily won the battle. Otherwise, if it were any other elf, she would probably be in trouble. On the 6th floor, Wang Mengmeng could no longer move forward. Kami turtle is her only elf. If she wants to challenge the 6th level, she must have 2 elves, or find other players to cooperate. With no choice, Wang Mengmeng could only choose to find teammates. What she is most looking forward to is being able to partner with Wang Ming. After all, the two of them are considered old acquaintances. Will it be him? Wang Mengmeng arranged her appearance nervously, with an intoxicating blush on her face. It's like a bride waiting for her groom to greet her. Whoa! A ray of white light suddenly came, and Wang Mengmeng's heart also lifted. However, when the figure walked out of the white light, a look of disappointment appeared on Wang Mengmeng's face. Unfortunately, not you. The 7th floor of the Elf Tower. Wang Ming met the first opponent in history who could fight him head-on. A level Hudi. Haha, what a trick of fate. It seems that only you can take part in this battle. Wang Ming glanced at the angry Zhang Gui and smiled bitterly. As we all know, Zhang Gui and Hudi are old enemies. From ancient times to the present, there has never been any real reconciliation. As soon as these two guys meet, there will definitely be an inevitable battle. Now, that's it. Although the battle has not yet begun, the air is already filled with a strong smell of gunpowder. Zhang Gui and Hudi looked at each other, the fire of war already boiling in their eyes. Go and prove yourself, I believe you can do it. Wang Ming encouraged. He has unconditional trust in Zhang Gui. After all, it was his own elf. Gengar. As soon as they came up, before Wang Ming could issue an order, Zhang Gui took the lead in launching an attack. It's still that familiar trick. Shadow Ball. Only this time, Gengar condensed 3 shadow balls in succession. Not only its hands, but also a larger shadow ball suspended above its head. The 3 shadow balls surrounded each other, forming a defensive force of stars, surrounding Gengar in the middle. Next moment, the 3 shadow balls were dispatched together and turned into 3 rounds of purple sun, carrying the energy of destroying the world and pressing towards Hudi in the distance. As Zhang Gui's old enemy, Hudi's strength is naturally unquestionable, not inferior to Zhang Gui in the slightest. Facing Zhang Gui's powerful attack, Hudi calmly raised the spoons in his hands and crossed them on his chest. Round pink discs are centered on the spoon, rotating and spreading outward. After it spread to a certain extent, a terrifying energy beam suddenly emerged from the center point. That energy beam was terrifying, as if it could penetrate space. Once it was shot out, it pierced through the air and headed straight for the incoming shadow ball. Gengar seemed to feel the terror of the opponent's attack, and made temporary adjustments, relying on the control of the shadow ball. At the critical moment, the 3 shadow balls merged into one. Once the 3 shadow balls, which already contained majestic energy, merged, they exuded an even more terrifying aura. The surrounding space seemed to begin to twist and collapse because it could not bear this energy. Gengar, Hudi, the 2 tyrannical energies finally collided. Boom! The earth is shaking. The entire elf tower was also trembling. Dust fell from the sky like a downpour. Gusts of strong wind swept through, making screams like ghosts and wolves howling. Without Gardevoir's protection, the aftermath of the explosion alone could have seriously injured Wang Ming. Who's winning? This was Wang Ming's only thought at this time. In such a terrifying duel, both sides are probably determined to decide the outcome. Wang Ming became nervous. From the bottom of his heart, he hoped Gengar would win. But in a showdown of this magnitude, no one can say for sure. The smoke and dust finally dispersed. Just like the dust-shrouded truth, one day the truth will come to light. Wang Ming's eyes widened. He saw the end. On both sides, no one fell. Zhang Gui and Hudi stood separately and side by side, like 2 gods of war, standing in the smoke-filled battlefield. The eyes of both sides were full of perseverance, unyieldingness and desire to defeat their opponents. Woohoo! No one on either side acted rashly at this moment, but the invisible wind blew on both of them, igniting the flames of war. Bang! Zhang Gui moved. It exerted force on its feet and jumped up. The terrifying force shook the ground apart. In its hand, a dark purple energy ball gathered. This is its favorite move, Shadow Ball. Repeated tricks. Only this time, it chose close combat. Holding the shadow ball in his hand, Gengar descended from the sky and headed straight for Hudi on the ground. Hudi held up the spoon with both hands, turned into two long swords, and fought with Zhang Gui. Boom boom boom. The energy of the fierce collision overflowed, and horrific aftermaths continued one after another. In the blink of an eye, the two sides have fought for several rounds. Hudi's spoons were bent. It simply roared and broke the spoon in its hand. Suddenly, a violent super power poured out, and continued to swim in Hudi's hands, and finally turned into a lavender dragon, roaring with dragon roars, and rushed towards Zhang Gui. Gengar also fought hard. The ferocious mouth was opened, revealing a mouthful of fangs. An even more violent energy continued to gather in its mouth. Expansion and compression, expansion and compression, expansion and compression again. Finally, a purple-black energy ball the size of a volleyball was formed. Small but complete. Although this energy ball looks small, the energy it contains is immeasurable. Gengar. All done. Gengar also used his most powerful move. The purple-black energy ball drew a graceful arc in the air and flew towards the lavender dragon. The lavender divine dragon opened its bloody mouth and swallowed the energy into its belly. But the energy ball did not become silent because of this. Instead, it became more and more blazing, turning into the most dazzling light ball and exploding in the belly of the dragon. Boom! The earth trembled because of it. The dragon roared unwillingly and turned into clouds of smoke on the spot. Hudi was seriously injured, his body was shattered into pieces, turned into little stars, and disappeared without a trace. After everything calmed down, only Zhang Gui stood tall. It is the winner of this game. You did great, Gengar. Wang Ming laughed heartily, ran over quickly, and hugged Zhang Gui. Even without his command, Gengar can still exert his strongest strength. This made him feel very happy. Zhang Gui. Gengar was also very happy, with a hint of pride in his tone. Is there anything more proud than being able to defeat one's mortal enemy alone? However, after being happy, Zhang Gui started to shake. Wang Ming quickly supported it and comforted it. You go back to the elf ball to have a good rest, and then you will see what happens to me. After experiencing the war, Gengar was obviously too weak. Since recovery items cannot be used in the elf tower, Wang Ming can only let it return to the elf ball to rest for the time being. Gengar nodded and turned into a white light and disappeared into the elf ball. Wang Ming stood up and took the remaining elves into the 8th floor. There will be more powerful opponents waiting for him. Even, it is so powerful that it is difficult to defeat. The 8th floor of the elf tower. Here, Wang Ming encountered the most powerful enemy in history. A level 35 fossil pterosaur. The fossil pterosaur is an elf of the rock type and the flying type. Its attack ability is not very good, but it is fast enough. As the saying goes, the only martial arts in the world that cannot be broken is fast. This statement also applies in the world of Pokemon. Elves with extreme speed have a natural advantage in avoiding attacks and launching attacks. This battle seems to be another tough battle. Who should I send? Wang Ming was wavering. The giant pincer mantis volunteered to stand up. Are you going to play? Scream. The giant pincer mantis nodded seriously. That's fine. Actually, I originally planned to send you on. The most popular move of the giant pincer mantis is the continuous slash. Although it is restrained by the fossil pterosaur, it is better because of its steel attribute skills, which can also have a good restraint effect on the fossil pterosaur. Roar. Although the fossil pterosaur looks silly, it is very terrifying when it is powerful. With a roar, the fossil pterosaur spun in the air for 3.5 weeks before launching the attack first. Speed is its advantage. Not to be outdone, the giant pincer mantis was full of fighting spirit. A pair of giant pincers collided together, sputtering out bits of fire, which was very impressive. Okay, giant pincer mantis, let's go. Use metal claws. As the name suggests, metal claw is a steel-type move with very good power. Scream. The giant pincer mantis came forward, and the giant pincers in its hands turned into sharp diamond claws, and directly grabbed the fossil pterosaur. The fossil pterosaur was very fast, and it avoided the attack of the giant pincer mantis by turning sideways. But if you think that's the end of it, you'd be wrong. It was not unreasonable for the giant pincer mantis to become the boss of the flying mantis group before he met Wang Ming. Its strength is far more than that. Although the fossil pterosaur escaped its attack, he was not deterred. Instead, he became more and more courageous as he fought, chasing after the fossil pterosaur. When the fossil pterosaur saw that the opponent was clinging to him like a dog's skin plaster, he couldn't help but get angry, and immediately turned around and bit him. What's even more terrifying is that blazing flames spurted out of its mouth. Those flames turned into 2 huge fangs, adding a bit more power to the fossil pterosaur's attack. Seeing this scene, Wang Ming's face couldn't help but sink. I forgot that this guy has this trick. Fossil pterosaurs are elves who are born with the ability to learn flame fangs, frozen fangs, and thunder fangs. And what it is using now is one of the flame teeth. Just now, the giant pincer mantis volunteered to fight. Wang Ming was also infected by its aura. He didn't think much about it and ignored the horror of the fossil pterosaur. Looking back now, I can't help but feel regretful. Giant pincer mantis, come back. Wang Ming took out the elf ball and wanted to take back the giant pincer mantis. But what he didn't expect was that the giant pincer mantis would be so resistant. I don't agree to go back even if I live or die. It wants to fight, to prove itself. So what if the fire is 4 times weaker? I'll kill it for you too. Wang Ming couldn't help but be shocked by the fighting spirit of the giant pincer mantis, and he couldn't help but think of Xiaoji again. That guy is called the master of reverse attributes. If Xiaoji were here, I'm afraid he wouldn't care about attribute restraint at all, right? Wang Ming sighed, and then 2 bright lights suddenly burst out from his eyes. Perhaps I can also become a master of reverse attributes. At this moment, a soaring fighting spirit erupted from Wang Ming's body, and merged with the fighting spirit of the giant pincer mantis. Both parties reached a tacit understanding. Let's continue this inverse attribute showdown. With strength, it is so willful. Get out of it. Don't be bitten by its flaming teeth. Having made up his mind, Wang Ming devoted himself to the battle. Faced with the fierce attack of the fossil pterosaur, it is naturally impossible for the giant pincer mantis to fight head-on. Avoiding the edge temporarily is the wisest choice. Scream. The giant pincer mantis also understood this. He immediately twisted his body and narrowly avoided the attack of the fossil pterosaur at an extremely tricky angle. A look of surprise appeared in the fossil pterosaur's eyes. Its speed was already very fast, but unexpectedly it was still dodged by the opponent. It seems that this braised mantis is no ordinary person. Involuntarily, the fossil pterosaur felt a little more vigilant, and its speed also increased a bit. Can it go any faster? Seeing the fossil pterosaur, he distanced himself in the blink of an eye, preparing to attack again. Wang Ming's eyes narrowed involuntarily. The speed of the fossil pterosaur was a bit beyond his expectation. Whoosh whoosh. Without any time to think about it, the fossil pterosaur turned into a bolt of lightning, projecting horizontally from left to right, sealing the giant pincer mantis in a small space. Use the whirlwind knife to break out. Wang Ming said quickly. You must not let fossil pterosaurs lead you by the nose. Woo-hoo. The wind was strong, and the whirlwind turned into invisible sharp blades, which gathered around the giant pincer mantis, making it impossible for the fossil pterosaur to get close. With the protection of the cyclone knife, the giant pincer mantis successfully broke out from the blockade of the fossil pterosaur. The fossil pterosaur was not in a hurry, and first used a move of primitive power. I want to test the reaction of the giant pincer mantis. Use the iron wall. Wang Ming knew that compared to the fossil pterosaur, the speed of the giant pincer mantis was simply in the sky and on the earth. Even if you use high-speed movement to increase your own speed, the gap will not narrow much. Rather than obsessing over speed, it is better to find ways to improve one's defense. Coupled with the characteristics of the items carried by the giant pincer mantis, it can also avoid being killed by the fossil pterosaur with one move to the greatest extent. Buzz. A layer of white light glowed on the surface of the giant pincer mantis, which looked as strong as a copper wall. The primitive power hit it, it just made a dull sound and did not cause much damage to it. But what made Wang Ming speechless was that he didn't know what kind of bad luck the fossil pterosaur had, and it actually triggered the special effect of the primitive power, and all its attributes were increased by 1 level. This is undoubtedly adding insult to injury for Wang Ming. Wang Ming couldn't help but complain. But when I thought about it carefully, I realized something was not right. Well, he is also a jerk himself. Giant pincer mantis, use the iron wall again. Wang Ming adopted the tactic of being immovable if the enemy does not move. Aren't you coming over? Okay, I'll keep improving the defense attributes. Are you in a hurry? Sure enough, seeing the giant pincer mantis, it didn't launch an attack, but kept building up its defense. The fossil pterosaur couldn't sit still. Once the giant pincer mantis reaches 6 levels, it will be really hard to fight. Ever since, the fossil pterosaur still lost its temper and launched an attack. Same move, Flame Fang. But it's very effective. The flame fangs were raging ferociously, like a devil walking out of hell, baring its teeth and claws and rushing towards the giant pincer mantis. However, facing the attack of the fossil pterosaur, Wang Ming did not act rashly. The giant pincer mantis is also very cooperative and has 100% trust in its owner. The speed of the fossil pterosaur was ridiculously fast, and the distance between the two was shortened in an instant. The flame fangs are only centimeters away from the giant pincer mantis's head. Now, use secret attacks on key points. Wang Ming suddenly spoke. The giant pincer mantis also reacted very quickly, launching an attack almost instantly. But the flame fangs still touched it, and the burning sensation hit it, making it painful. Relying on its tenacious will and the substantial increase in its previous defense, the giant pincer mantis endured and successfully detoured behind the fossil pterosaur. This move directly hit the vital point of the fossil pterosaur, causing double damage. Roar! The fossil pterosaur was in pain and let out a heart-rending roar. Don't stop, use the combo to end it. Although Continuous Slash is an insect-type move that has a resistance effect on the fossil pterosaur, it can still deal high damage with the characteristics of a technical master and the special effect of Continuous Slash. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. The giant pincers kept swinging, and the giant pincer mantis used all its strength to cling to the fossil pterosaur, maximizing the effect of the continuous slashing. The successive heavy blows made the fossil pterosaur miserable, especially the heavy blow that was stronger than the previous one, which made it unable to hold on. Roar! Roaring unwillingly, the fossil pterosaur used its remaining strength to display its flame fangs again. However, this time, faced with the most terrifying fire attribute attack, the giant pincer mantis did not flinch, but faced the difficulty and continued to wave the giant pincer in his hand. The flames rushed towards him and enveloped him. The terrifying high temperature almost melted its carapace, and the aroma of meat wafted into the air. The giant pincer mantis still didn't give up. Even if you are alone in the flames, you must be the reddest mantis. Wang Ming couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. This guy really works hard. In order to win, the giant pincer mantis did not care about anything. Boom! Finally, the fossil pterosaur couldn't hold on any longer and fell from the sky, its body covered with scars. It is estimated that if it persists for a little longer, it will be torn into pieces. The giant pincer mantis also felt uncomfortable. Its whole body was covered in a charred black color, and it was roasted until it was red on the outside and tender on the inside. Come back quickly and recover. Seeing that the giant pincer mantis was seriously injured, Wang Ming hurriedly took it back. Although the battle was won, it was a lose-lose situation. The giant pincer mantis will definitely not be able to fight anymore. After losing 2 generals one after another, Wang Ming's heart became solemn. According to the previous rules, the elf level of the next level should be, which is really a headache. Wang Ming patted his forehead helplessly. The higher you go, the stronger the enemies become. Now, he still has Gardevoir and Mewtwo left to fight. Facing a level elf, it is easy to say that the opponent's attributes are restrained. If there is no attribute restraint, or if it is restrained in turn, then the probability of Gardevoir winning is almost 0. It seems that I can only use that move. Wang Ming muttered to himself. He decided to play a little trick to let Gardevoir exert its maximum value. Let's go, you'll be the next one. Wang Ming released Cheomeng and strode into the 9th floor with him. His most powerful trump card is finally coming to play. 9th floor. An elf as big as a hill was squatting on the ground, waiting for the challenger to arrive. It was a fluffy elf, covered with a thick layer of fur, and looked very simple and cute, making people want to lie comfortably on its belly and have a good sleep. What? It's actually the opponent this time. Wang Ming arrived at the 9th floor, and when he saw this naive elf in front of him, he couldn't help but be surprised. At this time, sitting in front of him was a Kirby beast. Wang Ming used the eye of detection to detect the information about this Kirby beast, and soon saw through its level. As expected, it's a level elf. Brother Meng, it's up to you this time. Wang Ming turned to look at Cheomeng standing next to him, smiled and said. Ah. Cheomeng nodded lightly, his eyes like a 1,000-year-old deep pool without any waves. No matter how powerful the opponent is standing in front of him, it will be the same. When Wang Ming saw this, he stretched out his hand in a teasing manner and made a gesture of invitation. Please. Cheomeng stood up with his hands behind his back. Other elves use their feet, but it floats directly. Force the situation and make judgments. Feeling the strong pressure coming from Mewtwo's body, Kirby also rarely opened its eyes that had almost no eyes, and a serious look appeared on its honest face. Although, it doesn't make any difference whether you open your eyes or not, it's just a crack. Kirbymon opened its big mouth and let out a deafening roar, trying to get the upper hand. Is the output all about roaring? Wang Ming sneered. What a great voice. Big fists are the last word, right? Mewtwo, let it see your strength. Wang Ming shouted excitedly. To be honest, he hadn't seen Cheomeng's strength for a long time. Now that I can see her beauty with my own eyes, I am naturally very excited. Cheomeng nodded, still so calm and calm. I saw a moon wheel slowly condensing in its hand, spinning across the sky and flying towards Kirby. Kirby was not afraid, took a deep breath, straightened out its belly, and faced the purple moon. With a bang, the purple moon wheel exploded after colliding with Kirby's belly. The generated air wave completely shattered the surrounding rocks and turned them into powder. This shows how terrifying the power is. But even so, Kirby remained unscathed and even patted its belly leisurely, as if to say, shoot me. Cheomeng frowned slightly. Wang Ming was stunned. You're such a big fat guy, it's you who gets the beating. Wang Ming sighed. If used on other elves, this move would not only kill them instantly, but would also result in serious injuries. As a result, not only was Kirbymon not injured, he even wanted to try again. It's like you are having love with your little sister in an arrogant way, feeling that you are not capable enough. As a result, the young lady said leisurely, that's it. Are you irritating or not? My aunt can bear it, but my uncle can't bear it either. As a man, of course you have to prove yourself. Cheomeng thought so too. It didn't say much, but the slowly rising purple energy on its body told its mood at this time. Kirby also noticed this and chose to strike first. I saw it running quickly, and when it was about to get close to Cheomeng, it jumped into the air again, and it was overwhelming. That posture was like a 5-fingered mountain descending from the sky, trying to suppress Monkey King for another 500 years. If Cheomeng was hit like this, he would probably be turned into a meat pie on the spot. A strong person always has Mount Tai collapsing in front, but his appearance remains unchanged, and an elk rising to the left without blinking his eyes. What does that mean? To put it simply, I am invincible, you can do whatever you want. Cheomeng, this is his attitude now. Faced with Kirby's powerful blow that shocked the world and made the gods cry, it just made a simple and extremely simple action and easily resolved the crisis. Put your hands up and rock together. Then Kirbymon got stuck. Suspended in midair, unable to go up or down. A lilac energy enveloped its surface, restricting its movements. This is exactly what Cheomeng did. Use your own powerful telekinesis to control your opponent's actions. A certain guy with a spoon knows this trick very well. Followed by, Cheomeng's eyes glowed with purple light, and a chi bomb condensed and formed in its hand. The fighting type ultimate move, Kai Bomb. It was also a move that Cheomeng had only learned before. Now, it's time to see its power. Whoosh! The infuriating bomb made a sizzling sound and hit the Kirby beast at a speed that was hard to detect with the naked eye. When it got close to Kirbymon, it made another turn and headed straight into Kirbymon's belly. Isn't your belly like an iron wall? Don't you want another shot? Satisfy you all. I will shoot you to death today, even through your belly. Bang bang bang. Ah! The sound of explosions mixed with screams was endless. Perhaps the pain stimulated Kirby, causing the potential hidden in its body to burst out triumphantly. It actually broke free from Mewtwo's restraints and fell from the sky. Boom! After being thrown hard over the shoulder again by the air, Kirbymon staggered up from the ground. It burned with rage, its eyes shooting out angry fire. The hair all over his body stood up straight like silver needles. Roar, a roaring sage. The legs gallop like a BMW. Kurbimon rushed towards Mewtwo with full of anger. It was so majestic that all the air in front of it was moved out of the way to make way for it. It's the ultimate impact, a general type trick. Wang Ming said in horror, recognizing the move used by Kurbimon. As a general type ultimate move, ultimate impact is as powerful as the destructive death ray, reaching an astonishing 150. With Kurbimon's physique, if Mewtwo was hit, he would either die or be crippled. However, faced with this fatal blow. Cheomong methodically condensed a wall of telepathy in front of him, hoping to use this wall of telepathy to withstand Kirby's ultimate impact. Fantasy is beautiful, reality is skinny. The moment the final impact touched the light wall shattered without any pause. After all, it was a general type special move. It was so powerful that it was unimaginable. How could it be easily resisted? Kurbimon is about to run into Mewtwo. Get out of the way. Wang Ming couldn't help but break into a cold sweat for Cheomong. If Cheomong is injured here, he will stop here. This is not the ending he wanted. He felt that he could go further. At this critical moment, Cheomong suddenly moved. Its eyes were like lightning, shooting out two bright purple lights. The body was enveloped in a ball of purple energy, rising upwards at an extremely fast speed. And one of its hands gently pressed against Kurbimon's head. With one leap, he rolled over like a carp leaping through a dragon's gate and appeared behind Kurbimon. Immediately afterwards, the other hand quickly condensed a chi bomb and slapped Kirby on the head. It has the style of Wachiang splitting watermelon. Pat. In an instant, Kurbimon's aura began to shrink rapidly and return to peace. And its entire huge body fell to the ground with a crash, splashing dust all over the sky. Cheomong, his perseverance is like a god of war in the flying dust, unstoppable. It won the game. He defended his reputation with an absolutely crushing attitude. Born to fight, and worthy of it. Wang Ming faced the smile and gave it a thumbs up. He was equally happy that Mewtwo was able to win unscathed. The next step is the 10th floor. The big boss is about to show up. Wang Ming took a deep breath and stepped into the passage with Cheomong. Real world. Across the Atlantic, there is a beautiful country. Trump was enjoying a sumptuous lunch in the White House and took a video and uploaded it to Twitter. And with the classic copy, "No one knows lunch better than me." At this moment, a middle-aged man in a suit and leather shoes walked in and whispered a few words into Temupo's ear. Temupo, who was still savoring the delicious food, stood up from the table. "What did you say?" The teenagers who disappeared mysteriously suddenly came back. "Yes, Mr. President, it's just not all, only a small number of people have come back, and there is still no news about the others," the man in the suit said in a calm voice. This incident also shocked him very much. A group of teenagers mysteriously disappeared and now appeared out of thin air. Where did they go? What happened again? These are all unknown. But fortunately, he has secretly sent people to control the group of teenagers, and it won't take long for the truth to be known. Go, take me there. She was very excited, and her old face was glowing with spring, as if she had just experienced a fierce battle of love. Then you won't eat. The man in suit was a little surprised. You know, this extraordinary gentleman regards eating as important as making money. Don't eat. Pack these things and send them to a children's welfare home. I think they'll enjoy this hearty lunch. The man in the suit was a little dazed, but his professional ethics made him nod habitually. Yes, Dragon Country. The same thing is happening. However, the only difference is that the top leaders of Dragon Kingdom did not take such extreme measures. Chief, those who have returned have been secretly protected by our people. Are we going to interrogate them now? Asked the person responsible for this mysterious incident. Just now, they received news from intelligence personnel. It is said that some teenagers have returned to the real world. Are they injured? The chief did not answer the person in charge's question, but asked instead. No. The chief breathed a sigh of relief and nodded slightly. Ah, that's good. Send someone to protect them first, and don't act rashly for the time being. This matter still needs to be discussed in the long run. Yes. The person in charge saluted and slowly withdrew. Just as the person in charge was about to leave, the chief suddenly stopped him. Wait a minute, there is one more thing. Remember, don't disturb their normal life. No matter when, people are always the ones they want to protect. The person in charge was slightly startled and gave a more standard military salute. Yes, Chief. Elf Tower, 10th floor. It is also the last layer. Congratulations on successfully reaching the boss level. After defeating the guardian elf on this floor, you will successfully clear the elf tower and receive a clearance gift package. Tiandao's voice is very soft, but compared to the system's Lolita voice, it's still a little bit behind. A big gift package for clearing the level, then I will go all out. Wang Ming grinned and became excited. Super Dream, look at you. This time, Cheomeng is still on the scene. Cheomeng nodded lightly, his posture still so proud. He slowly walked to the battlefield, waiting for his opponent to appear. Wang Ming was also watching the battlefield nervously, wanting to see who his opponent would be this time. After a moment, a white light fell from the sky. Vaguely, Wang Ming saw a ball of flame burning. Is it another fire attribute elf? Wang Ming muttered to himself. Along the way, he met a lot of fire attribute elves. I have to say that he really has an indissoluble bond with the fire attributed elves. The light dispersed, and an elf with 6 wings appeared in midair. Why is there an emphasis on 6 wings here? It's definitely not to connotate a certain classmate named Jiyu, but simply to discuss the matter. It does have 6 wings. Moreover, it still has red wings, like 6 flames, burning blazingly on its body. With such a recognizable appearance, if Wang Ming couldn't recognize what kind of elf it was, he would be killed by a collision. Vulcan moth, Wang Ming exclaimed, his face full of shock. He felt that heaven was deliberately targeting him. He is just a novice player who has only been in the game for 3 days, and is only a few 100 million points better than the others. How can he ask Vulcan moth to take action? Why does the Vulcan moth exist? Its racial value of 550 cannot be ignored. With one move, it is only commonplace to destroy the world and destroy the earth. It can even take 2 moves against some weaker mythical beasts. The existence of this level should not appear in the early stage of the game. Targeting, this is absolutely naked targeting. Wang Ming was very angry. Moreover, he just looked at it with the eye of discovery, and the level of this fire god moth was level 45. The normal Vulcan moth can only evolve at level 59. What does this mean? Naked cheating. And he was cheating in front of a cheater like him. But he just couldn't make any moral condemnation. Because he himself is a jerk. Oh, I'm so helpless. Hanging pussy also has the trouble of hanging pussy. Wang Ming took a deep breath and tried to calm down his mood. I can't say it, so I can only see Junjong under my hands. Is your Vulcan moth very powerful? Very cool. Sorry, my Mewtwo is even worse. And it's the kind that's so hoisted that it explodes. Although there are disadvantages in level and attributes, it doesn't matter. The real strong ones always rise from adversity. Wang Ming is cheering himself up. He is also cheering for Cheomeng. Mewtwo, are you ready? We're about to go. Wang Ming's eyes began to change, as sharp as a sword. Cheomeng let go of his distracting thoughts and entered his strongest fighting state. Give it a tough blow first, use predict the future. Wang Ming ordered excitedly. The more challenging the battle, the more exciting it is. Precognition of the future is a delayed skill with great power. It is activated in the second round after it is used. Cheomeng's eyes were half closed, and a lavender mist floated out from its bottomless eyes, lingering in the corners of its eyes, unable to dissipate for a long time. Immediately afterwards, Mewtwo's 3 slight bends, an invisible force locked on the Vulcan moth, and may be activated at any time. Vulcan moth also felt that he was locked by a powerful energy, so he simply stopped holding back and took the lead in launching an attack. Just listen to it let out a slightly delicate cry, and the whole body starts to burst into flames. With the Vulcan moth at the center, a ball of flames emitting high temperature that could melt steel spread around, heading straight towards Mewtwo. Get out of it, Wang Ming ordered again. Cheomeng moved like a snake and jumped horizontally repeatedly, easily dodging the flames. And this is just an appetizer for the Vulcan moth. Just when Cheomeng had just dodged the flames, the Vulcan moth suddenly twisted its slightly bloated body and began to dance gracefully. It was not a graceful dance, especially for the Vulcan moth. But it doesn't matter, because the effect of dance is huge. At this moment, Vulcan Moth's 3 abilities, special attack, special defense and speed, were all improved. It's the insect type's exclusive skill, butterfly dance. Wang Ming also recognized the skill of Vulcan Moth and was a little surprised. At this moment, an extremely powerful energy broke through the void, fell from the sky, and headed straight for the dancing Vulcan Moth. Looking at the colorful energy beams, Wang Ming's face blossomed with joy. The effect of predicting the future is activated. The Vulcan Moth also felt the foretelling of the future, and hurriedly stopped dancing. The whole body began to be covered with layers of flames, turning into a giant wheel of flames, rolling towards Cheomeng. And those energy beams followed behind the Vulcan Moth, chasing after it. This guy is really smart. Wang Ming saw through Vulcan Moth's intentions at a glance. Vulcan Moth wants to use the power of predicting the future to attack Cheomeng. A good move to use force to gain strength. It's a pity that Wang Ming will never let it get his wish. Mewtwo, don't let it get close, keep away from it. Wang Ming hurriedly reminded him. As long as you keep a distance from Vulcan Moth's plan will be self-defeating. The speed of predicting the future is obviously faster than the speed of the Vulcan Moth, and it is only a matter of time to catch up with it. No matter what, there is absolutely no way to avoid the Vulcan Moth. Cheomeng kept gathering purple crescent moons in his hands, slashing at the flying Vulcan Moths one after another. In the face of the powerful attack, Vulcan Moth was also somewhat powerless and unable to get close to Cheomeng. As a last resort, the Vulcan Moth could only change its strategy, temporarily gave up on Cheomeng, and flew towards the stone wall in the distance. What is it for? Wang Ming frowned slightly and muttered. When he saw the energy beam chasing after the Vulcan Moth, Wang Ming suddenly realized. Haha, do you want to use extreme speed to forcefully change direction to avoid attacks that predict the future? It's interesting. This guy is smarter than I thought. Wang Ming gave a rare compliment. But when he started, he showed no mercy. Since Vulcan Moth wanted to use his extreme speed to turn around to avoid being pursued by someone who could predict the future, he would use his plan to wait and see. Cheomeng, follow my instructions. At 2 o'clock, prepare to use the spiritual blade. Wang Ming's eyes narrowed into a thin line, waiting for the best opportunity. When the Vulcan Moth clung to the wall and was about to make a turn and dive upwards, Wang Ming spoke without hesitation. Put, boom, a crescent moon blade carried all the power of Cheomeng and slashed out at the speed of lightning. Just as Vulcan Moth was about to turn around and dive at high speed to throw away the energy beam behind him, he suddenly saw a crescent moon blade emitting bright purple light coming towards him. Compared to the energy beam chasing after him, the Vulcan Moth was more willing to face the oncoming crescent blade. With no way to avoid it, Vulcan Moth gathered a flame shield and rushed towards the crescent blade. Boom, click. Cheomeng's attack power was so powerful, the sharp crescent blade was invincible, directly smashing Vulcan Moth's flame shield and hitting Vulcan Moth's body. The Vulcan Moth was in pain and let out a miserable scream. But he did not lose the ability to fight because of this. Instead, he dragged his slightly embarrassed body and flew out of the sea of fire. Vulcan Moth was angry. He flapped his wings desperately, creating a violent storm that blew towards Mewtwo. Although the Vulcan Moth is not a mythical beast, it is better than a mythical beast. There are several types of skills with different attributes. For example, the storm being used now is a flying move, and its power is only a hair away from Cheomeng's ability to predict the future. Facing this powerful move, Cheomeng did not dare to be careless. Those strong winds were like sharp knives, blowing against it and tearing apart its body. Even though Cheomeng was protected by a mental barrier, he was also injured. At this moment, Vulcan Moth launched a more powerful move. Bugs. This move is specifically aimed at Cheomeng. The sound of rustling insects sounded like a symphony in the fields on a summer night, which was pleasant to the ear. But to Cheomeng's ears, it was extremely noisy. Those sounds were like a glance of air, all-pervasive, entering its ears through various gaps, giving it a splitting headache. This trick is very effective. Mewtwo's state was declining at a speed visible to the naked eye. Quickly interrupt it. Don't let it sing anymore. Wang Ming shouted eagerly. If the burning bugs were allowed to scream like this, Mewtwo would really be in danger. Boom. Cheomeng was also angry, and a more powerful dark purple energy spurted out of his body, forcefully forcing out the noise hidden in his body. Then, its fingers slightly bent, and two crescent-shaped blades emerged at the same time, turning into sharp blades and spinning at high speed to slash at the Vulcan moth. As a last resort, Vulcan moth could only temporarily stop singing to avoid Cheomung's attack. But the two crescent moon blades were attacking from both sides, and the attack angle was very tricky, making it difficult to dodge. The Vulcan moth simply changed his mind and let the flames cover his body, turning into a giant flame dragon and rushing out. It unleashed another powerful skill. The ultimate move of the flame system, Flash Charge. As a fire-type ultimate move, the power of Flash Charge goes without saying. Even if there is no attribute-restraint relationship, hitting Cheomung will still cause powerful damage. Faced with this move, Wang Ming now has two options. One is passive defense, but the probability of being able to avoid it is very slim. Flare Charge is an instant skill and is very fast. In addition, the Vulcan moth itself is not slow, so it is almost a sure hit. The other is a counterattack, also using powerful skills to attack the Vulcan moth. Since Vulcan moth is resistant to fighting skills, the best choice for the skills that Mewtwo can use is Spirit Blade. Although the Spiritual Blade is not as powerful as the Chi Bomb and not as high as the Flash Charge, it is still very good and can cause considerable damage to the Vulcan moth. With just a breath of thinking, Wang Ming made a decision. War. Whoever is a coward is a coward. Mewtwo, use the Mental Blade. Wang Ming roared angrily, declaring his determination to win. Cheomung also roared, and a crescent moon blade that was larger and more purple than before gathered in its hand, and turned into a purple light the next moment, spinning and flying out. Boom! Two powerful energies collided with each other and exploded in the air. The crescent moon blade instantly collapsed and turned into purple mist floating in the air. The Vulcan moth wrapped in flames also felt uncomfortable. The flames around him were scattered and fell from the sky bit by bit. Only a few small parts of the flames were still burning. They roared and hit Cheomung on the body. The air wave was so strong that the aftermath of the explosion forced the two elves to retreat. Mewtwo relied on his control of telekinesis to stabilize his body. The Vulcan moth used the wings on its back to stop its retreat. The two sides were at odds with each other, fighting each other, their breath was weak, and they were both on the verge of bloodshed. In this collision, no one took advantage. And while they were looking at each other, no one noticed that Wang Ming, who had been standing aside directing the battle, inadvertently showed a smile of success on his lips. It's time to send you on. I saw Wang Ming slowly touching the pokeball on his waist with his right hand, and released Gardevoir. At the same time, he took Cheomung back without hesitation. If two elves come on the field at the same time, it will be a foul. Mewtwo didn't react, and Vulcan moth was also confused. What's the situation? We were playing well, why was there a sudden substitution? Engage in a sneak attack. Can you talk about martial arts? Vulcan moth was angry, but when it saw a frail Gardevoir on the stage, its mood suddenly became beautiful again. Ha ha ha, this human trainer is so stupid. He sent such a weak guy to fight. He is really asking for death. Vulcan moth obviously felt that Gardevoir's aura was much weaker than the previous Mewtwo. I can probably kill it with just one insect buzz. Therefore, the previous anger sweeps away from the second house. The Vulcan moth was very happy and even hummed a tune unconsciously. Wang Ming naturally doesn't care about Vulcan moth's opinion. What he needs to do is to bring out the greatest value of Gardevoir. Xanadu, use the wish. Wang Ming ordered without hesitation. He was going to use the move of prayer to resurrect Mewtwo with full health. Shanae. Gardevoir clasped his hands together in a devout prayer gesture. Lend God another half of your life. Naturally, Vulcan moth would not let Gardevoir perform his moves so easily. Instead, he directly used Insect Cry, hoping to kill Gardevoir instantly with one blow. Waves of mild insect chirping sounded, and Gardevoir's body trembled. He felt that he had been severely injured and his whole body was not well. But it did not fall because of this, but persisted tenaciously. Finally, the prayer was completed, and Gardevoir was on the verge of collapse. The damage from the buzzing insects was still too great for it. Well done, come back. Seeing the right opportunity, Wang Ming took back Gardevoir without hesitation, and then released Cheomung. As soon as Mewtwo came on stage, a majestic energy fell from the sky, wrapping it up and restoring it to its normal state. Gardevoir's prayer worked. Wang Ming was not idle either, he knew that this was not enough. Mewtwo, use self-regeneration. Wang. As Wang Ming's voice fell, the cells in Cheomeng's body began to squirm and regenerate rapidly, repairing the injuries on his body. After a while, Cheomeng was resurrected with full health. Great, this is the effect I want. When Wang Ming saw this, he clenched his fists excitedly. Gardevoir's prayer can restore half of its maximum health to itself or the elf it replaces. Mewtwo's self-regeneration can directly restore half of its maximum blood volume. The two superimpose each other, and the effect is to restore the bloody Mewtwo to full state. In other words, Mewtwo is now resurrected with full health. Vulcan Moth was confused. It also felt the changes in Cheomeng, and it never expected that its opponent, who was as sluggish as itself before, would suddenly become more energetic again. It's even fuller than the previous state. It was in a panic now, and the hard member underneath it was feeling cold. But the arrow was on the string and had to be sent. It's like you took off your pants when you did that, and you found out that the other person was an ugly girl. What can you do? Just close your eyes and do it. Oh, there was another melodious chirping of insects, but there was a hint of unwillingness and anger. This time, Mewtwo dragged the energy ball with his hand and rushed directly towards the Vulcan Moth with the sound of singing. Boom! Fires shot into the sky, and explosions continued one after another. The battle is over. Cheomeng was wearing a purple shirt and standing in the air with his hands behind his back. Show off your heroic looks and your domineering attitude. This is the attitude that a strong man should have. At the same time, a voice floated slowly. Congratulations on successfully clearing the Elf Tower and receiving a clearing gift package. Congratulations on becoming the only player to clear the Elf Tower and receiving the special title Fusion Ambassador. Fusion Ambassador. After wearing it, you can check the current World Fusion degree and receive exclusive fusion tasks. Congratulations on triggering the hidden mission, World Fusion. Task description. The world of this game will gradually merge with the real world where the player is, forming a brand new world. The host will serve as a pioneer to guide the integration of the two worlds. Task time limit. Permanently valid. Task difficulty. Unfathomable. Task reward. Key to the door to the world. Note. This task is unique and unique. Once triggered by a player, it will be automatically bound and cannot be released. Wang Ming listened to Tiandao's series of prompts and was so shocked that Linen was stunned. World integration, pioneer, fusion ambassador. These seemingly ordinary words entered Wang Ming's mind, but they exploded like thunder, making his mind go blank. He wasn't sure until now. It turns out that this is not an ordinary game world, but a real world. And this world will come to the real world and merge with the real world to form a new big world. And he is the founder of the new world. Wang Ming was very excited. He felt that he was about to reach the pinnacle of his life. As the pioneer and leader of the new world, he will create a brand new Pokemon world. What an exciting thing. It would be even better if we could become number one in the new world. Wang Ming was so excited that he could not help himself when he thought that the new world would grow and develop under his feet. Of course, fantasy is fantasy, and the reality that should be faced must continue to be faced. Right now, Wang Ming had a question that urgently needed to be solved. He looked at the mission reward and asked in confusion, Tiandao, can you tell me what the key to the door to this world is for? Although the literal meaning is easy to understand, it is nothing more than the key to the door to the world. But what is the gate to the world? What is this key? What we will face after opening the door to the world is unknown. Wang Ming didn't like this feeling very much. When you get the key to the door to the world, this question will naturally be solved. Quote. Yes, explained, but not fully explained. When he couldn't get the answer, and couldn't figure it out by himself, Wang Ming simply stopped paying attention to it, and instead turned his attention to the customs clearance gift package. The time to open gift packs is always so exciting and exciting. It was like an unexperienced girl lying in front of him, waiting for him to draw her first drop of blood. Don't know what's in here. Wang Ming couldn't wait to open the gift bag. Suddenly, a burst of golden light shot out from inside. Wang Ming subconsciously turned his head away and narrowed his eyes. When the golden light dissipated, he looked at the reward in the gift bag. A purple and white poke ball. A colorful capsule. Then there was nothing. You must think that the reward must be very shabby with so little reward. In fact, on the contrary, the rewards were very generous, and Wang Ming's face was already blooming with joy. Master Ball, glitter capsule. Ha ha ha, it's developed, now it's developed. Needless to say, the glitter capsule can transform ordinary elves into glitter elves, and its value can be imagined. As for Master Ball, we have to talk about it carefully. As the best performing Pokeball, the Master Ball is even rarer than the mythical beast. There probably isn't much in the entire Pokemon world. Wang Ming was lucky enough to get one. As the rarest elf ball, the Master Ball is also extremely effective, with a success rate in capturing wild elf. It can be called the reincarnation of Dog Hao. Not to mention level 3 gods, even level 1 gods like Groudon and Rayquaza can all be defeated with one ball. Of course, the premise is that you have to be able to align. Otherwise, you won't be able to catch even shit. In other words, if Wang Ming can encounter a mythical beast next time, he can just pass the ball and the mythical beast will be obtained directly. But this method of catching elves also has a drawback, that is, it is difficult to get the approval of the elves. Even if you catch them, they won't bother you, and they may even beat you up if they don't like you. Therefore, mythical beasts are risky and must be captured with caution. Before you have absolute strength, it is best not to think about these unrealistic fantasies. Putting the Master Ball away happily, Wang Ming turned to look at the glitter capsule. Needless to say, this glitter capsule must belong to Gengar. Everyone here must know how cool shining Gengar is, right? He is truly the Prince Charming in the minds of thousands of girls and the White God of War in the minds of thousands of teenagers. All men, women, old and young take it, it's just so silly. Therefore, no trainer can refuse a shiny Gengar. If so, then have another Flash Gardevoir. It just so happened that Wang Ming had both of these elves. Oh, this sinful life is so enviable. When the first ray of holy white light shone on Gengar's body, it completed its transformation. A pure white Gengar with a hint of purple jumped out. It's the Flash Gengar. Wang Ming was very satisfied with this. So handsome, just like him. And just when Wang Ming was feeling complacent, the voice of Heavenly Tao rang in his ears again. The world channel is about to close, and you will be transported back to the real world in 5 seconds. Based on your strength evaluation, the time limit for your next entry into the game is 10 days. I wish you a happy game and welcome your next visit. Before Wang Ming could react, a ray of white light fell from the sky and enveloped him. Finally, are you going back? Jobin City, outlying waters. On an isolated island, Team Rocket's Genetic Research Institute is located here. At this time, inside the Gene Research Institute, researchers are working intensively on an extremely important research project. Create the most powerful artificial Pokemon in history. Dr. Sha Yan, Meng Meng's gene has been extracted. Do you want to analyze it now? In the research room, the assistant came in and asked a woman with a good figure and charming appearance. She is exactly what the assistant calls Dr. Sha Yan, and she is also one of the leaders of this research work. Let's get started, the other genes are also ready. Dr. Sha Yan spoke softly, with a strange light shining in her eyes. Okay, I'll notify the others to start working. The assistant responded. Then, he seemed to think of something and stopped talking. Doctor, about the issue of multi-gene fusion. The issue of Pokemon multi-gene fusion has always been a difficult problem for their research. Although there has been progress, there are still some problems that are very immature and may have a greater impact on this experiment. Don't worry, I've solved that problem. I have to say that what the woman named Keiko researched is still somewhat useful. A faint smile appeared on Dr. Sha Yan's lips, and his tone was filled with contempt. Dr. Keiko of the Alliance. The assistant was shocked and couldn't help but murmured to himself. Didn't that plan fail? I heard that a kid disrupted the plan, causing the mission to fail, and even the information was taken back. Dr. Sha Yan sneered. Oh, did you fail? That one's not that stupid. The so-called failure is just to cover up the victory in the darkness. The assistant was startled, as if he understood something, and his eyes suddenly lit up. You mean, haha, go ahead, it's time to work. Dr. Sha Yan smiled mysteriously and said nothing more. But the implication is self-evident. Real world. Dragon Country. A ray of white light streaked across the dark night like a shooting star, adding a hint of crystal to the dark night. On the dim streets, the worn-out old-fashioned street lights flickered on and off, adding a bit of gloominess to the already deserted streets. Wang Ming appeared on the street out of thin air, looked around, and couldn't help but feel a trace of relaxation on his face. He is back. It's still the same familiar environment, and it's still the same shabby streets as always. About 300 meters away from him, an old residential building stood alone in the dark night. That is where Wang Ming lives. Although it looks lonely and shabby. But for him, it is the warmest and safest place. Go home. Wang Ming's face was filled with a relaxed smile. There were very few pedestrians on the road, almost no one at all. When Wang Ming was approaching home, he suddenly heard a rustling sound coming from the woods not far away. Hey, you are so good. Don't be in such a hurry. Let's go over there. There are too many mosquitoes here. The bites hurt my butt. Hey, okay, I'll let you try the new posture I learned later. Wang Ming's face was not red, and his heart was not beating. He pretended not to hear and walked into the residential building. Today's young people are having more and more fun. He had encountered this kind of thing many times when he went home before, and he had long been accustomed to it. Back home, Wang Ming put on his head the title of Fusion Ambassador given to him by Tiandao. A small line of information appeared in front of his eyes. World integration progress, 1%. Only 1%, that's a bit less. Wang Ming sighed. At this moment, Tiandao's voice sounded again. To ensure the smooth integration of the two worlds, all information about Pokemon in your world will be cleared. Of course, as a fusion ambassador, your memories of Pokemon will be preserved. Wang Ming was stunned for a moment, a little surprised. Is it so cruel? Doesn't that mean that now in the whole world, I am the only one who has the memory of Pokemon? Hey, I've unknowingly taken a big step ahead of the others. It's really exciting to think about it. Wang Ming laughed heartlessly. The cheating life is so awesome. And just when he was feeling proud of himself, his cell phone suddenly rang. Wang Ming picked up the phone, took a look at it, and found that it was an unfamiliar number. Who would it be if you called me at this time? After hesitating for a moment, Wang Ming answered the phone. Big bad guy, are you back? A delicate and lively voice came from the other side of the phone. Wang Ming was stunned when he heard this familiar voice. Big breasts, oh no, you are. Wang Mengmeng. Realizing that he almost called the wrong name, Wang Ming quickly changed his words. Otherwise, if Wang Mengmeng hears her calling her a cute girl with big breasts, she will probably chop her heart out with a knife. Aha, it's this girl. You're back now, right? Wang Mengmeng asked casually, but her tone was full of uncontrollable concern. Well, just got back. By the way, how did you know my mobile phone number? Wang Ming was very puzzled. Because he had no contact with Wang Mengmeng before, let alone his contact information. Hee, secret. Wang Mengmeng smiled playfully. Now that you are back, I can rest assured and won't disturb you. Bye. By the way, don't forget to come to school tomorrow, there will be a big surprise. After saying that, before Wang Ming could reply, the phone went silent. Wang Ming was confused. What's going on with this girl? Did you make a phone call specifically to confirm that you were not here, and then tell yourself not to forget to go to school tomorrow? Could it be that you have fallen in love with yourself? Oh, this charm is such a pain in the ass. Wang Ming held his head. Hey, even if you travel through time, you still have to go to school. Wang Ming glanced at the date on his phone, shook his head and smiled bitterly. Tomorrow is Death Monday. Ding dong. At this moment, Wang Ming received another message from Wang Mengmeng. I forgot to tell you, the story of our time travel has completely become popular on the internet, and now some people are even starting to pay to buy products from that world. You can pay attention if you have nothing to do. This piece of information successfully caught Wang Ming's attention. So fast, it seems someone came back much earlier than me. Wang Ming was a little surprised. He thought everyone came back together. It doesn't seem to be the case. The estimated time for everyone to come back is related to the end of the Elf Tower test. In other words, the stronger the person, the slower he comes back. Wang Ming couldn't help but feel very depressed. He happened to be the one who came back the slowest. When you open Weibo, you will see rows of eye-catching hot search titles. The mysterious missing boy returns. A whole new world is discovered. Shock. The boy mysteriously disappeared for 3 days, and when he came back he brought an elf with extraordinary power. Place of wealth. A rich man spent a lot of money just to buy an elf named Pikachu. Is this going to be auctioned? Wang Ming's thoughts were a little messy. You know, from the time they came back to now, it would not have lasted more than 2 hours. And in this short period of time, someone actually made a move to acquire the elves. Is this too fast, or did they get some news in advance? Wang Ming felt that he still underestimated the speed of action of those big shots. Being able to make up their minds to spend a lot of money to acquire elves in such a short period of time shows that they have been paying attention to this matter from a long time ago. It is estimated that those people were taken back for interrogation as soon as they returned to reality. Otherwise, things would never have developed to this point. At least, it has to be postponed for another day or two. But this is good, it just helps me speed up the integration of the two worlds. Wang Ming murmured and took another look at the fusion progress. World integration progress, 1.1%. Increased by 0.1%. It seems very little, but it is actually very fast. After all, he didn't do anything. Later, Wang Ming opened a certain fish, an item trading platform, and searched for information about Pokemon. If you don't search, you don't know. There are already many players openly selling products from the Pokemon world. Like elf balls, alliance coins, tree fruits, etc. However, there are very few elves for sale, it can even be said to be almost none. If you think about it, you can understand it. They have not been in the game for long, and there are still only a few players who can obtain elves. The importance of elves is self-evident, and they will not easily sell the elves to others after finally obtaining them. Chapter 51. Hey, maybe I can build a platform specifically for trading Pokemon World items to facilitate communication among players. As he watched, a surprising idea suddenly came to Wang Ming's mind. This idea is very good, it can not only promote communication between players, but also allow him to take the opportunity to make some money. Maybe it can also improve the progress of the two worlds. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, no, get 3 benefits. There is no reason not to do it. With that excitement, Wang Ming started his wonderful idea. Meanwhile, on the other side, the military is also intensively conducting investigations and interrogations on this collective crossing incident. Chief, through the information provided by some travelers, we have initially obtained some information. The subordinate man said, holding a stack of documents. Oh, talk about it. The chief raised his eyebrows, showing a hint of interest. It is said that they were transported to a world dominated by ferocious beasts by a mysterious force called Heavenly Tao. In that world, people collectively called those ferocious beasts Pokemon. After listening to his subordinate's report, the chief's eyes became misty and he remained silent. After a long time, he slowly uttered a sentence. Is there a video? The subordinate man stepped forward and opened the tablet in his hand. This is a video about Pokemon, please watch it. In the picture, the power displayed by the Pokemon made the leader's face change slightly, and his eyes narrowed involuntarily. And, according to some time travelers, that world will come to the real world in the future and merge with the real world. The subordinate man continued speaking from the side. Are the worlds merging? The chief's eyes narrowed even more. This seems to be more complicated than I thought. You continue to investigate and try to get more information. Also, we must protect the safety of those people and never let them have accidents. I need to report this to the person above. The subordinate man's eyes were slightly stunned. He knew exactly who the chief was talking about. If even that person is alarmed, the impact of this incident will be unprecedented. Yes. After a long time, the subordinate man uttered a word and left. The chief looked out the window and murmured to himself. The world is going to change. The next day, P City Middle School. Wang Ming dragged his tired body into the classroom. After thinking about it all night last night, he finally designed the idea for the trading platform. But sadly, he found that he was unable to turn this idea into reality. So, he is very depressed now. Have you heard about it? Yesterday, a Pikachu was auctioned for a sky-high price of hundreds of millions. I heard that the rich man is from RP City. Is it true? A Pikachu can be sold for a high price million. Then my Rattata can't be worth million. You don't know something about this, right? The world has changed now, and those of us with elves are the real masters. The value of elves is immeasurable. Nowadays, many rich people are rushing to get it, but they still can't get it. Yesterday, a rich man threatened to take my green caterpillar and offered. Huh, do you think he looks down on me too much? How can trainers like us be fooled by money? As he spoke, the man took out a check and shook it intentionally or unintentionally. And on that check, there was a series of numbers written nakedly on it. 50 million. Haha, what a duplicitous guy. Oh, bah. Everyone showed contempt, but only they knew whether they were envious or not. Wang Ming heard this interestingly and couldn't help but sigh. The world now has really changed. At this moment, someone else asked, by the way, I heard from Tiandao that the time for entering the game world for the second time is different for everyone. It is calculated based on the test results of the Elf Tower. How many days have you all been? Ah. As soon as these words came out, everyone suddenly became energetic again and started discussing intensely. Even Wang Ming was attracted and moved over, wanting to hear how much other people's gaming time was. Hey, I get excited when I talk about this. I am not talented. I have cleared 2 levels. I can stay in the game for 2 days next time. A slightly fat young man said with a proud look on his face. TCH, isn't it just 2 days? Why are you so proud? I am only 3 days. A fellow-minded person, I also have 3 days. Wow, the big guys are so awesome, unlike me, I only have 1 day. Boss, can you take me with you? I can change into your shape. Go away, we don't want to be gay. Everyone stayed away from the man, for fear of being disgusted. Wang Ming listened to everyone's words and thought silently in his heart. It seems that the number of levels cleared is linked to the number of days in the game. 1 level is 1 day. I cleared the 10th level, exactly 10 days. I wonder if anyone has the same number of days as me. Wang Ming was thinking, but was suddenly interrupted by a voice. Brother Ming, have you entered the game too? How many days will the next game last? Someone noticed Wang Ming and asked slightly provocatively. Although he has never seen Wang Ming in the game, it can be seen from the pokeball on Wang Ming's waist that Wang Ming is also a serious trainer. Oh, not much, only 10 days. Wang Ming replied lightly. Tisk, it's only been 10 days. Suddenly, the man seemed to realize something, and he refused to say anything. He turned his head mechanically and stared at Wang Ming in astonishment. 10 days. Are you kidding me? Everyone was stunned, as if they had heard the most incredible thing in the world. The longest among their group only lasted 3 days, but you just came here for 10 days. Dude, are you playing? It's okay to show off, but don't pretend to be cool. TCH, if you can really pretend, why don't you say you're a player for 10 more days? Someone said angrily. Everyone has heard of player that godlike man is the idol that many players chase. I'm sorry, I'm really player 6. Wang Ming said calmly. Pretending to be like the wind, always accompany me. Just do whatever you want. Everyone sneered, obviously not believing his lies. Sao, are you pretending to be like me? Has your hair grown even? Come on, aren't you player number 6? Let's have a fight. Do you think I won't kill you to death today? Those with a bad temper couldn't sit still on the spot, stood up, pointed at Wang Ming and shouted that they wanted to fight him for rounds. Wang Ming also knew this man. His name was Jia Zhongjing. He was a well-known gangster in the class, and he usually made trouble for him. Now that he has the opportunity to take revenge, Wang Ming will naturally not let it go. Okay. Wang Ming also stood up. At this moment, Tiandao's voice suddenly appeared in his ears. Congratulations on triggering the fusion mission, a duel between trainers and winning. Task reward. Trading platform construction card 1. Trading platform construction card. After using it, you can map the idea of the trading platform in your mind into reality, and Tiandao will automatically broadcast it to all players for you to promote your trading platform. Wang Ming smiled brightly. The problem he had been depressed about for a whole night was finally solved. Tiandao is really considerate. Since heaven has chosen to let me beat you up, then I have to be even more ruthless. Wang Ming looked at Jia Zhongjing, with a cruel smile on his face. When Jia Zhengjing saw Wang Ming's expression, he couldn't help but feel a thump in his heart and panicked for no reason. What's going on? This guy doesn't look scared at all, and he's excited. Could he really be player 6? Can't. I won't be so unlucky, right? Jia Zhengjing was shaken in his heart and regretted that he had been too reckless just now. If Wang Ming is really player, then he will be embarrassed and embarrassed. But now the arrow is on the string and has to be sent. Once you've said it, you can't take it back, right? No way, just bite the bullet. Go, Jia Zhengjing shouted loudly, emboldened himself, and strode out of the classroom. Wang Ming smiled faintly and followed closely. Go and see. I have a hunch that Jia Zhengjing is going to be unlucky. No, I think Wang Ming is just too loud. His strength may not be enough. Whatever, just watch a good show and I'll inform the others. The others looked at each other and followed suit. There is a ready-made battle to watch, why not do it? Besides, they really wanted to see if Wang Ming's strength was as strong as his tone. And the other side, 3 years and 6 classes. The news spread quickly and reached Wang Mengmeng's ears. What, you said Wang Ming is going to have an elf showdown with Jia Zhengjing? Wang Mengmeng's eyes widened and she asked in disbelief. She was just about to dress up carefully and go to see Wang Ming, when she heard the news unexpectedly. Yeah, everyone in the school probably knows it now. Wang Mengmeng's best friend said seriously. This bad guy is going to be in the limelight again, but why am I looking forward to it? Wang Mengmeng bit her little tiger teeth and muttered suspiciously. Hey, no matter what, let's go watch his game. Playground. Wang Ming and Jia Zhengjing fought separately, using a football field instead of an arena. How about releasing the elves together? Jia Zhengjing looked solemn and did not dare to be careless in the slightest. He won't be like some idiots who yell and I'll give you a move. After all, there were so many people watching, and he didn't want to be embarrassed. Villains also have dignity, okay. No, I'll go first, you can do whatever you want. Wang Ming moved his hand back and released the giant pincer mantis. From previous conversations, he knew that Jia Zhengjing had cleared the 3-story elf tower. In other words, the level of his elf should be between level 15 and 20. With such strength, giant claw mantis can completely handle it. Even when facing fire elves, the result is the same. Therefore, Wang Ming released the giant pincer mantis without hesitation. Jia Zhengjing was stunned. He didn't expect Wang Ming to be so decisive. At that moment, he no longer hesitated and released his own elf. A level 17 sting wasp. The giant needle wasp is the final evolved form of the unicorn beetle. I've heard people from that world say that it's very powerful. Someone recognized the giant needle bee and said in surprise. Jia Zhengjing is in a stable situation. But what is Wang Ming's elf? I haven't seen it yet. Everyone looked at the giant pincer mantis with curiosity. It is the giant pincer mantis, the evolved form of the flying mantis. It is very powerful and belongs to the top ranks. At this moment, someone spoke and introduced. How do you know? Because I have the elf guide. As he said that, the man took out the elf illustrated book, which attracted everyone to watch. On the football field, Wang Ming's face was light and cloudy, while Jia Zhengjing's expression was solemn. Because he felt a very powerful aura from the giant pincer mantis. It is a breath that only a truly strong person can have. Oops, are you going to overturn today? Are you going to get instead of pretending to be cool? Jia Zhengjing thought in his mind. Can we start? Wang Ming's words brought him back from his thoughts. Can. Jia Zhengjing took a deep breath and said slowly. However, as soon as he finished speaking, the giant pincer mantis turned into a red light and rushed out. Snapped. Soon, Badahuo screamed and fell to the ground, losing the ability to fight. The wings were almost broken off. The crowd was silent and you could hear a pin drop. The battle was over before anyone could react. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. What happened? Everyone has question marks on their faces. Even Jia Zhengjing was stunned and stayed where he was. Before he could use his move, the opponent just killed his bad butterfly. Want to be so arrogant? By the time everyone reacted, Wang Ming had already left here with the giant pincer mantis. And just as Wang Ming took off, Wang Mengmeng ran over. How is it? Has the battle started? Wang Mengmeng asked someone in the crowd expectantly. Ended. Okay. Wang Mengmeng was stunned. Ended. The man explained. Well, the whole battle took less than a second, and Wang Ming killed the opponent instantly with one move. Wang Mengmeng opened her mouth and her mind was a little hard to turn around. I just came and you ended it. Want to be so fast? Ha, seconds man. Fortunately, I also dressed up carefully. Wang Mengmeng felt very unwilling. She had dressed up for so long just to be seen by Wang Ming. Now that her goal has not been achieved, how can she give up? Where did he go? Should we go back to class? Without saying a word, Wang Mengmeng caught up with her snow-white skirt. And the other side, Wang Ming was sitting on his seat, happily communicating with heaven. Congratulations on completing the fusion task and obtaining the trading platform construction card. World fusion progress increases by 0.1%. Current world integration progress, 1.2%. Do you use the trading platform to build cards now? Use. Wang Ming said impatiently. Used successfully. Building a trading platform based on your idea, please wait. Wang Ming waited patiently. His concept is very humane and has the following major points in general. 1. All transactions use alliance currency. 2. Identity anonymity. 3. Free trading. Players can also entrust professionals, namely Wang Ming, to conduct promotional auctions. However, as a manufacturer, Wang Ming has to charge a transaction fee. If it is put up for auction at the auction house, since it will be authenticated and promoted by Wang Ming personally, the fee will be higher, reaching 10%. And these are just the most basic functions. Various functions such as category search, product exhibition, etc. are all available. It can be said that it is perfect. Congratulations, the trading platform has been built, and Tiandao will automatically broadcast it for you. In an instant, Wang Ming's eyes lit up. The trading platform is finally completed. Announcement. The trading platform is online and players can call it up based on their thoughts. Announcement. On the trading platform, players can freely trade Pokemon-related items. Announcement. If you want to know more details, please log into the trading platform to check. A series of cold voices echoed in the players' ears. At this moment, players all over the country went crazy. Trading platform. It sounds a bit like a department store. I wonder if I can find anything good. Hey, I came in first, and the trading platform is already in my shape. Let's collect the smell upstairs. Hello, you idiots. In the chat channel, friends from all over the world are greeting each other cordially. Looking at the lively scene in the chat channel, Wang Ming couldn't help but feel a little happy. Just then, someone posted the first transaction information. Ordinary elf balls cost 150 alliance coins each. Don't miss it if you pass by. Do you want to show off? In the game world, it only sells for 150, but you dare to sell it. Why don't you just go and grab it? Hey, I can't help it. This platform requires a commission, so I can only raise the price a little bit. It's true, there is a commission for free transactions and a commission for auctions. Mom, the builders of this platform are really nothing. They are more capitalist than capitalists. Hearing this, Wang Ming's face darkened and he immediately became unhappy. Is 1% a lot? Not much at all, okay. He is much better than those blood-sucking capitalists. These guys are really ignorant and contented. Wang Ming despised the words of these people. Within a few words, many people posted transaction information. Wang Ming browsed them briefly and found that they were all ordinary items that were of little use to him, so he didn't take them to heart. Ding dong. Suddenly, a crisp sound sounded, and the balance account in the upper left corner of Wang Ming's personal interface changed. From 0 to 5. That is, someone closed the deal. Sure enough, when Wang Ming looked at the chat hall again, someone spoke. Brothers, this platform is really magical. Transactions can be transferred out of thin air. I just bought 2 Pokeballs, and the next second I had 2 more Pokeballs in my hand. Really, what you said upstairs is right. I just completed a transaction, and the alliance coins disappeared. Wang Ming was very happy. The more a player trades, the more alliance coins he earns. Accumulate over time, you can make steady profits without losing money. It's really enviable. At this moment, a soft girl's voice suddenly came from the classroom door. Big bad guy, so you are here. Wang Ming looked up and found a girl in a white dress with a proud figure and sweet appearance standing at the door, looking at him shyly. Big breasts. Wang Ming said in surprise. He really didn't expect that Wang Mengmeng would come to him. HMPH, are you surprised? Wang Mengmeng walked to Wang Ming's side with a smile, and a faint fragrance floated from her body to Wang Ming's nose. It smells good and refreshing. By the way, did you hear Tiandao's broadcast just now? It said that a trading platform was released. I took a look and it was quite magical. Wang Mengmeng suddenly thought of Tiandao's previous announcement and said. Wang Ming nodded. Just kidding, he is the designer of the trading platform, how could he not know this? Then what is your ID? Can we be friends? Wang Ming panicked and hesitated to refuse. Wang Mengmeng couldn't help but be a little confused. Aren't we friends? Yes. Then adding a friend makes sense, right? Very reasonable. Then what's your ID? Cute girl with big breasts. Quote. You're so boring. Wang Mengmeng said disdainfully. It's pretty boring. Wang Ming also felt strange. Why did he come up with such a name at that time? Yes, my whole life's reputation is completely ruined. After adding friends, Wang Mengmeng chatted with Wang Ming for a while, showing off that her current strength is different from what it used to be. Squirtle has also evolved into Kami Turtle, and even passed the 5th level of the Elf Tower test. Wang Ming was very surprised by this. He didn't expect that Wang Mengmeng would change so much after the two separated. Do we have time to discuss and learn from each other? Wang Mengmeng suddenly suggested. No problem, just one move and you won't cry. TCH, I'm not that delicate. Ha ha, jingle bell. As the crisp school bell rang, Wang Mengmeng was ready to go back. Let me ask you a question, have you noticed anything different about me today? Before leaving, Wang Mengmeng suddenly turned her head and looked at Wang Ming expectantly and asked. Wang Ming looked up and down, and finally said with certainty, well, it's big again. Wang Mengmeng, shouldn't the first thing a man looks at be his face? Why do you insist on looking at breasts? Wang Mengmeng didn't understand very much. She rolled her eyes at Wang Ming resentfully and left. Crash. As soon as Wang Mengmeng left, a large number of students entered the classroom, and they all looked at Wang Ming with strange eyes. Envy, jealousy, adoration, crazy love. There's nothing I can do about it. Who would flirt with someone so powerful? Even the school bell Wang Mengmeng is addicted, how can ordinary people like them resist? After waiting for 10 minutes, the teacher didn't come. Wang Ming simply opened the trading platform again and checked the trading information out of boredom. Suddenly, a transaction message initiated by a cute player whose ID was Lucky Angel caught his attention. A mysterious meteorite is for sale at a high price. If you are interested, please chat privately. Behind the text, there is also a picture. There is nothing much to say in the text, after all, there are too many scammers these days. But that picture made Wang Ming's eyes light up instantly. Because, that is a super stone. However, just looking at the picture, Wang Ming couldn't tell which elf's super stone it was. But no matter which elf's super stone it is, its value is immeasurable. With the super stone, as long as it is paired with a super bracelet, the corresponding elf can super evolve. I didn't expect that I would be able to meet the super stone. I'm really lucky. If I don't take it down, I'll be sorry for myself. Wang Ming was ecstatic and quickly contacted the cute player Lucky Angel. If it was too late, he was afraid that someone else would buy it. By then, he would have really lost a lot of money. Hello, brother, can I ask where you got that stone? Wang Ming was very curious about this. You know, super stones are very rare. Generally, you can't buy them even if you have money, let alone players like them who have just entered the game. The little cutie of Lucky Angel was also very open, and she told Wang Ming happily without hiding it. A mysterious old man gave it to me. I happened to meet him in the wild at that time. Seeing that he was injured, I carried him to a nearby hospital. Before leaving, he gave me this stone, saying it was a good thing. But he didn't tell me what it was used for, so I just thought of selling it here to see if anyone knew it. If no one really knows him, he might as well exchange some alliance coins and buy some other equipment. By the way, brother, do you know this stone? I don't know, I'm just curious. Just kidding, if this kind of thing were to be revealed, the price would definitely increase several times. Then how can he pick it up? Wouldn't it be a big loss? If you are a dead Taoist friend and not a poor Taoist, you can't trick anyone else. You can't trick yourself. But having said that, Wang Ming is still very envious of the opportunities given to Lucky Angel's little cutie. You can get a super stone by carrying an old man on your back. This is not the cute little Lucky Angel, this is his own son. Hey, why didn't I meet you? Wang Ming was very depressed. Is it because he is such a big dick that no one likes him? If you think about it, it's really possible. But it doesn't matter, after all the detours, this super stone will eventually find its way into his pocket. Brother, I think this stone is very destined for me. How about you give me a price and sell it to me? Wang Ming follows the path of good guidance. You must not rush this kind of thing, and you must do enough foreplay. Just like when doing that, you can't go straight to Wanglong as soon as you come up. You have to lead the water out of the depths of the cave first so that it can flow unobstructed. As the saying goes, sharpening the knife will not waste time chopping wood. Okay, how much can you pay? How much do you want? This number. The cutie from Lucky Angel posted a picture of scissor hands. Make a deal. Wang Ming transferred alliance coins without saying a word. The little cutie from Lucky Angel was stunned when she saw the account arrival information. 20,000. What the hell, I just want 2,000. The other party obviously misunderstood. Brother, I've already sent the money. Please give me the things as soon as possible. Seeing that the other party didn't respond for a long time, Wang Ming reminded him again for fear that the other party would regret it. The little cutie of Lucky Angel looked at the message sent by Wang Ming and fell into deep thought. This is a big misunderstanding. If it is a misunderstanding, then let it continue to be a misunderstanding. The little cutie of Lucky Angel transferred the thing to Wang Ming smoothly, for fear that the other party would regret it. In this way, a transaction full of drama was completed with the two people deceiving each other. What's interesting is that Wang Ming thought he had made a profit, and so did the cute little Lucky Angel. A win-win situation, perfect. After getting the super stone, Wang Ming couldn't wait to take it out. Looking closely, one can clearly see the halo flowing inside. After some observation, Wang Ming finally came to a conclusion. This is a super stone from Gardevoir. It's a pity that I don't have a super bracelet now, otherwise I can let Gardevoir super evolve. Wang Ming sighed and said a little depressed. There is no super bracelet for sale in the real world. If he wants to buy it, he can only wait until next time to enter the game. I don't know when the next game will start. Wang Ming muttered to himself. At this moment, the head teacher suddenly walked in. Students, I won't go to class today. I have a questionnaire here. After you fill it out, you can go home directly. Jaren, please send the questionnaire to everyone. It is good. A pretty girl took the questionnaire from the head teacher and handed it out one by one. When Wang Ming got the questionnaire, he glanced at it and understood what was going on. The country still took action. This questionnaire was specially designed to investigate their group of time travelers, and it was kept confidential to a certain extent, in order to extract information about the Pokemon world from their mouths. Everyone must fill it out carefully and do not commit fraud. The state will verify it in the future. The head teacher reminded from the side. Naturally, Wang Ming would not be so stupid as to tell the country his secrets without reservation. In other words, even if he lied, as long as he didn't tell it, who would know? After filling out the questionnaire, Wang Ming left school and went home. When he walked to the school gate, he was stopped by Wang Mengmeng. Hey, big bad guy, we agreed to have a spar, why did you sneak away first? Wang Mengmeng trotted to Wang Ming's side and asked angrily. The two big white rabbits on the chest are beating violently, and the large patches of white snow are looming under the breeze, which is really charming. Oh, almost forgot. Wang Ming slapped his forehead and then remembered the agreement between the two. Let's go to the playground. Wang Mengmeng smiled like a flower, exposed her crystal little tiger teeth, waved her pink fists and said, I'm very powerful, don't be scared later. Wang Ming curled his lips and cursed in his heart. The only thing that can scare me is the two white rabbits on your chest. After a while, the two of them arrived at the playground. At this time, there were still many people in the school who had not left. Seeing that the two were about to duel, they gathered around to join in the fun. Look, that's Wang Ming from our class, the player in the game. He's so awesome. He killed Jia Zhongjing, who had cleared the 3-story elf tower, with one move. Is it true? He is player 6. When did it happen? Why didn't I know? Really, it just happened not long ago. If you don't believe it, just watch it. You will definitely be surprised later. Ah, my Mingxian, I really want to take on your shape. Hey, Mingxian, please give me your strongest impact. Come out, Cammy Turtle. Wang Mengmeng released her elf. Wang Ming just glanced at it, and the information about Cammy Turtle appeared in front of his eyes. Elf, Cammy Turtle, gender, female, qualification, purple. Level, 25, attribute, water, characteristics. When the blood volume decreases, the power of water attribute moves will increase. Hidden feature, none. Item to be carried, mysterious water drop, a gem in the shape of a water drop. After being carried, the power of water attribute moves will be increased by 20%. Skills, shrinking into a shell, water gun, foam, high-speed rotation, water wave, guard, bite. Hey, I even have the props, so that's not bad. It seems that Dr. Keiko is really not very nice to this cute girl with big breasts. Wang Ming couldn't help but sigh, and praised Wang Mengmeng's Cammy Turtle. Appreciation is appreciation, but if you lose, you still have to lose. Wang Ming didn't want to waste time and directly released Gardevoir. As soon as Gardevoir appeared on the stage, the surrounding audience immediately became excited. Wow, what kind of elf is this? It's so cute. I want to have one too. Gardevoir, an elf in human form, also called Wifemon. Huh, why is it called Wifemon? This also starts with a cross-racial love. Your Cerulean has also evolved. When Wang Mengmeng saw Gardevoir, she couldn't help showing a hint of surprise on her face. Well, there's actually nothing to be surprised about. It's just something you can do with your hands. Wang Ming replied calmly. Everyone, I have a saying in my heart that I don't know whether to say it or not, so why don't you pretend to be so realistic? Wang Ming. No, right. No one really thinks I'm showing off, right? I'm just telling the truth, okay. Can we start? Wang Ming asked, wanting to end this boring farce quickly. Let's start. Wang Mengmeng took a deep breath, puffed up her full chest, and gave a sweet drink. Cammy Turtle, use the wave of water. Cammy. The Cammy Turtle's ears moved, and waves of water centered on it, spreading toward Gardevoir like ripples. Faced with the attack from Cammy Turtle, Wang Ming acted very calmly and just said a few words. Use the magic leaf to end the battle. Whoosh whoosh. In an instant, green leaves seemed to be enchanted, floating around Gardevoir. The next moment, it turned into sharp blades and shot out, heading straight for the Cammy Turtle on the opposite side. Bang bang bang. Before the turtle could react, countless green leaves shot at it like sharp swords. Cammy Turtle let out a scream. Even though it was protected by a turtle shell, it couldn't resist Gardevoir's terrifying attacks. Pat. Cammy Turtle kicked his legs, with his feet in the air, and fainted. The waves of water that came over also collapsed and turned into mist, dissipating in the air. The scene froze for a while. Not a sound at all. This is the end. Another move ended the battle. Do you want to be so cool? Wang Ming wanted to refute this. So what about hanging? Is it illegal? I lost. Wang Mengmeng didn't come back to her senses for a moment, and was stunned on the spot. Although she also knew that she would not be Wang Ming's opponent, she thought that she could survive a few moves, but she never thought that she would not be able to withstand even one move. A deep sense of frustration swept over him instantly, making Wang Mengmeng very disappointed. Seeing Wang Mengmeng like this, some male classmates couldn't sit still and said indignantly, "It's so shameless. He is so cruel to girls. Don't you know how to show mercy to girls? It's just that, with all his strength and no understanding of caring, he is destined to never find a girlfriend in his life." Some people rolled their eyes and said something faintly with disdain for everyone's words. Have you ever thought that maybe Wang Ming doesn't need to show mercy at all? Why doesn't he need it? Does he think he's getting bigger? I don't know if he's serious or not, but it's true that girls chase him and cling to him. You fart. If you don't believe me, ask the girls around you. Beautiful lady, do you think Wang Ming is a straight man? Well, it's very straight. But I really want to be in his shape. Quote question mark question mark question mark question mark quote. Seeing that Wang Mengmeng was in a low mood, Wang Ming thought she was about to cry. He frowned slightly, stepped forward, pinched her nose, and said seriously, "We promised not to cry." I didn't cry. You, please let go, you're hurting me." Wang Mengmeng's face turned hot and blushed due to Wang Ming's intimate gesture. "Oh, I'll be gentle then." Wang Ming reduced the strength on his hands. The expressions of the people around him suddenly became strange. Why do I feel like this conversation is so dirty? Oh, this brother might as well explain it in detail. Hey, don't be horny. The boring farce ended, Wang Ming said goodbye to Wang Mengmeng. On the way back, Wang Ming opened the trading platform out of boredom and browsed at will. I hope I can pick up the leak again. At this moment, a message in the chat channel attracted his attention. Purchase Alliance coins in large quantities, the ratio is 1:500, the larger the quantity, the better. The price can be increased. If you are interested, please chat privately. Wang Ming couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. These people are really fast. Someone has already purchased Alliance coins. 500 yuan for an Alliance coin is really beyond the reach of ordinary people. It seems that those rich players are thinking of winning with Krypton gold. At this thought, when Wang Ming looked at the chat channel again, the situation changed again. Purchase Alliance coins in large quantities, the ratio is 1:1000, interested parties can chat privately. Wang Ming couldn't help but be a little surprised. In just a short time, the price doubled, which was even more ups and downs than stocks. It is estimated that the supply of Alliance coins exceeds the demand, otherwise there would not be such a big increase. Wang Ming murmured to himself and guessed. Looking at this trend, it is estimated that it will continue to rise. Wang Ming glanced at him again. Sure enough, the price doubled again. Wang Ming felt something was wrong. Normally, even if supply exceeds demand, the increase should not be so large. Is there a mysterious force behind this that is driving all of this? Wang Ming took out his mobile phone and searched for information related to Alliance coins. If you don't search, you don't know. An official news piece stunned Wang Ming. National announcement. The country is currently collecting Alliance currency, and the exchange ratio is 1:3000. If you hold Alliance currency, if you want to exchange it, you can go to your local bank to handle it. Even the country has taken action, and the ratio is still 1:3000. No wonder someone wants to buy it at a high price. Wang Ming was very surprised. But those who want to rely on information differences to buy Alliance coins at low prices are really shady. Whenever the situation is turbulent, there will always be some unscrupulous businessmen trying to make huge profits. This has become a common occurrence. Wang has no plans to acquire Alliance coins. Because he doesn't need it at all. The Alliance coins transferred from the trading platform alone were enough for him to squander. After turning off his cell phone, Wang Ming prepared to go shopping for something in the trading market. But at this moment, Tiandao's voice suddenly sounded. Congratulations, your world fusion progress has reached 5.00%, and space fusion has been enabled. Space fusion. Some areas in the game world will come to the real world in the form of secret realms and merge with the real world. In the secret realm, players can freely explore, experience and capture wild elves. Note: the secret area is a closed public space. In this area, everyone in the real world and the game world can enter. However, due to the existence of space barriers, both parties cannot enter each other's world and can only enter the public area, that is, activities in secret realms. Based on your progress in the game, the area of this secret space will be selected as Evergreen Forest area, and the corresponding real-life location is Evergreen Forest. Friendly reminder. As a Fusion Ambassador, you have the right to experience the secret realm for 1 day in advance. During the trial period, you will have all control rights over the secret realm. After the trial period is over, the secret realm will be open to everyone. Wang Ming froze on the spot after listening to a series of Tiandao prompts. After a long time, he finally understood what was going on. To put it simply, he can now enter the game world again, and he also has the right to enter 1 day in advance, but the scope is limited to area of Viridian Forest. However, although he understood what the secret realm was, there was still a problem that troubled Wang Ming. That is, why did the world integration progress suddenly jump to 5.00%? At the beginning, he clearly remembered that the progress of world integration was only a pitiful 1.2%. As a result, he went to school and jumped directly to 5.00%, which is incredible. Is it because I established a trading platform? Wang Ming frowned and guessed. If there is anything he does that can improve the progress of world integration, I'm afraid it's the only one. No, I'm afraid it's not just that. The country's sudden acquisition of alliance coins is very likely to have greatly promoted the progress of world integration. Yes, that's it. The combination of these two things caused the world integration progress to suddenly increase to 5.00%. Wang Ming's eyes suddenly shot out two bright rays of light. This, he felt, was the answer. Congratulations on getting the answer correct, but there is no reward. At this time, Tiandao also made a joke. Wang Ming couldn't help but feel happy and proud of his intelligence. Tisk, 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 handsome and smart, how can there be someone as outstanding as me in the world? How can I let other people live? Wang Ming sighed quite narcissistically. Then he put away his smile and said seriously, Tiandao, you said that I have all the control rights over the secret realm, does it also mean that I can let others enter the secret realm in advance? Yes, Wang Ming smiled. He discovered a huge business opportunity that could make him a lot of money. Okay, then I will go to the secret realm to take a look first, and then make a plan after confirming the situation. With an excited look on Wang Ming's face, he took a taxi and headed straight to Evergreen Forest. Evergreen Forest is a primeval forest located on the outskirts of P City, not far from where he lives. In about an hour, Wang Ming arrived at Evergreen Forest. Wang Ming was dumbfounded when he saw the scene in front of him. Tiandao, where is the secret realm we promised? Why is there nothing there? Ahead, there was nothing but endless virgin forest. The secret realm will come to the real world one day later. Then didn't you say that I can enter the secret realm in advance? Now that the secret realm has not arrived, how can I enter? Wang Ming asked suspiciously. You just need to tell me and you can enter. Wang Ming was speechless, with 10,000 grasshoppers rushing through his heart. He felt that heaven was playing tricks on him, so he silently watched him mess around without reminding him. It's just bad, wilted and bad. Taking a deep breath, Wang Ming tried his best not to compete with Tiandao, and said, then send me in. Bew. As a strange sound sounded, Wang Ming disappeared. When he reappeared, he had already arrived in a forest. Not far away, there is a ruins. Wang Ming recognized the ruins as the one he encountered in area of Viridian Forest. At that time, he was still here having a fight with the rockets. That means I'm already in now. So fast. After confirming the surrounding environment, Wang Ming became excited. Because once he enters the game world, it means he can open treasure chests. I wonder if there are any treasure chests here. Wang Ming began to search around quickly, confirming the size of this secret land while looking for the treasure chest. An hour later, the treasure chest was not found, but the scope of the area was known. It's about a quarter of the size of P City. I have to say, it's still very vast. Whether it's catching wild elves or gaining experience, it's enough. Now that the situation here has been confirmed, it's time to implement my plan. Wang Ming grinned with a greedy smile and opened the trading platform. Using his authority, Wang Ming issued a general announcement in the chat channel. Announcement. Hello players, I am player number 6. I believe you have heard of my glorious achievements and are full of admiration for me. Here, I will announce something to you as the spokesperson of heaven. From now on, area of Viridian Forest in the game world will be open to some people, where you can fight to your heart's content and capture elves. As soon as the announcement was made, the chat channel exploded. I understand the truth, but respected player, why is your ID, a cute girl with big breasts? As soon as these words came out, the style of painting suddenly changed. Sister, look at your breasts. Sister, look at your legs. Sister, look. Wang Ming's face turned red, but he was not angry. Instead, he helped them shut up in a very considerate manner. The sins you have committed should be paid for by others. What a fool. Those 3 buddies have been banned. Isn't this guy really player? There should be no doubt that he can make announcements and ban others from talking. If he is not player, then he can only have a PY transaction with player. You have many words, you are right. The comments are gradually developing in a good direction, and Wang Ming is very satisfied with the comparison. So, dear brother 6, how can we enter area of Viridian Forest? Finally, someone got to the point. Wang Ming explained. If you want to enter area 6, you first need to pay a registration fee of 100 alliance coins. Is it okay then? No, this is just the beginning. If you want to continue to stay there, you need to pay the fee on time, which is 1000 alliance coins per hour. WQNMLGB. Aren't you charging in disguise? The capitalists are not as evil as you. Announcement. Player Dong Zhou has been banned from playing Diao Chan. Great Chu is rising, King Chen Sheng. Brothers, rise up. Down with the capitalists, the world belongs to the common people. Wang Ming was not angry, but patiently explained to the players. Don't get excited. These rules were not set by me, but by heaven. If you want to rebel, go find it. Tiandao, you idiot. Suddenly, there was no sound on the channel. After all, they will have to rely on heaven to enter the game world in the future, so they can't fall out with him. Wang Ming was very satisfied to see that no one revolted again. Actually, you don't need to be angry, because this is a sure profit deal. How to say? The players were aroused by Wang Ming's words. Think about it, where is Viridian Forest? That is the habitat of wild elves, and there are countless wild elves among them, everywhere. When you go in, catch 1 or 2 at will, and then sell them to other people who need them, won't he make back the money? So, the price of 1000 alliance coins per hour is already very reasonable. Wang Ming's operation was as fierce as a tiger's, fooling the players into spinning around. That sounds like it makes sense, so give me an hour first. Soon, some players couldn't sit still and were attracted by the pie painted by Wang Ming. Okay, alliance coins, please pay first. The player Indian Chen Guanli didn't waste any words and generously transferred alliance coins to Wang Ming. From the looks of it, he is probably a wealthy man. After receiving the money, Wang Ming had a smile on his face and said to Tiandao, Tiandao, send him in. Transmitting. Transmission complete. After a while, a young man wearing white casual sportswear appeared in area. However, he was hundreds of meters away from Wang Ming. He is none other than the player just now, Chen Guanli from India, whose real name is Chen Zhang. As for why I got such an online name, I can only say, I know everything. Hey, let me wipe you, did you really come in? Chen Zhang glanced at the surrounding scenery, his face gradually became flushed, and he became excited. Because, he saw a green caterpillar eating grass leisurely not far away. Seeing someone staring at it like an idiot, the green caterpillar couldn't help but sneered, what are you looking at, you idiot? Have you never seen such a handsome Rayquaza larva? Believe it or not, I can kill you with just the finishing touch. It is not an ordinary green caterpillar. It thinks very highly of itself and has received guidance from a mysterious expert. The expert said that as long as it works hard, one day it can transform into a dragon, fly to the 9 heavens, and become the overlord of the sky. Then, he believed it. This green caterpillar looks very cool. Chen Zheng raised his eyebrows and said in surprise. Not bad, it fits my domineering and arrogant character, so I caught it. On the other side, Wang Ming looked at the players in the chat channel who were about to make a move, and a proud smile appeared on his lips. Young man, I still can't handle you. The Indian crowned lizard sent a message not long after entering. Brothers, come on, there are really a lot of elves here. As soon as I came in, I encountered a green caterpillar that was so awesome that I am currently catching it. As soon as these words came out, other people who were already a little ready to move suddenly couldn't sit still. Give me an hour. Give me 10 minutes. Prodigal man, you are short enough when you are in bed. Playing games is still so short. Please change the time to an hour. Hey, good wife. Wang Ming discovered that there were not only the first batch of gamers in the chat channel, but also some other people who had sneaked in. After asking Tiandao, Wang Ming finally understood. It turns out that this trading platform is not only open to the first batch of game players. Anyone who owns an elf, even if he is a member of the trainers, will receive an invitation from Tiandao to join the trading platform. That's not bad. The more people, the better, so I can make more money. With a grin, Wang Ming casually approved several people's applications and closed the chat channel. They are all working hard, and I can't fall behind. Area is very large. I just ran through it roughly. There are still many places I haven't checked. Maybe there may be treasure chests or rare elves hidden in those places. I have to search carefully. With this thought in mind, Wang Ming rushed towards the other direction of area. At the same time, in the White House on the other side of the Atlantic, the president of the beautiful country, Special Agent, was looking at the documents in his hand with excitement and chattering to the people below. Great, this is simply great, even more exciting than that beautiful girl who is the Secretary General of the United Nations. This will be an unprecedented discovery. Perhaps we can use the power of that world to re-rule the entire European and American continents. No, it's the whole blue star. Our beautiful country will be the overlord of this new world. He is extremely crazy and expresses his inner emotions impassionedly. Mr. President, please forgive me for being rude. You also know that this matter is global. It does not only happen in our country. The same thing happens in Asia, Africa and other places. We can control this power, and that's fine too. Furthermore, according to reports from our intelligence personnel, our strong enemy, the Dragon Kingdom, has begun to gather traversers from across the country. Their power in this area is even more powerful. There are even rumors that the so-called most powerful player, they are the people from the Dragon Kingdom. The assistant stood up and said sternly that he wanted Taimopu to recognize the reality and not be blindly optimistic. Well, you're talking about a problem. It was rare that Taimopu didn't refute, so he nodded and said, then let's try the depth of the people from the Dragon Kingdom first. The assistant was taken aback. How to try? Taimopu raised the corners of his mouth and smiled mysteriously. Hold the World Trainer Exchange competition, and then invite people from the Dragon Kingdom to participate. The assistant frowned slightly and asked a little uncertainly, is this really okay? A confident smile appeared on Taimopu's face. Believe me, no one understands trainers better than me, and no one understands Dragon Kingdom people better than me. The assistant's mouth twitched and he didn't know what to say. After thinking for a while, the assistant asked again, are our two countries the only ones participating in this competition? Is it too few? Taimopu waved his hand and said with a cruel smile, of course not, call that old guy Abe Shisen from Sakura country. It is true that someone from Sakura country has entered that world, but what if he doesn't agree? The assistant asked worriedly. No, he will agree. No one knows Ampere better than me. Okay, then I will contact the people from the Dragon Kingdom and the Sakura Kingdom. Takiwa Forest Area. Wang Ming was overjoyed that he finally found a treasure chest. At this time, directly in front of him, there was a golden treasure chest lying quietly. It was very extraordinary at first glance. Like a beautiful and shy girl, waiting for his blessing. Hey, baby, I'm coming. With a bohemian smile on his face, Wang Ming rubbed his hands and walked quickly towards the golden treasure chest. Hey, it's still a king's treasure chest. I didn't expect to meet one of such high quality. Now it's developed. As soon as he finished speaking, a pair of devil's claws gradually stretched towards the treasure chest. Pat! There was a crisp sound, and the sky was filled with golden light. A familiar voice began to sound in Wang Ming's mind. Ding! Congratulations on opening the king's treasure box. Ding! Congratulations on getting the Advanced Skill Building Card 1. Advanced Skill Construction Card. After use, the skill picture constructed in your mind can be transformed into a skill learning machine, and the appropriate elves can learn it. Quality. Advanced. The maximum power of construction skills will not exceed 100. Attribute. Super Power System. The attribute used to construct skills is Super Power System. Wang Ming was stunned. This skill building card, there's something about it. No, to be precise, it's quite interesting. Wang Ming narrowed his eyes and became excited. System, all I need to do is imagine the scene of the skill being used in my mind. Yes, after you use the Advanced Skill Construction card, you only need to imagine the scene when the skill is used in your mind, and the skill construction card will automatically build the skill for you and transform it into a skill learning machine. Simple and efficient. Wang Ming was very satisfied. However, he did not immediately use the advanced skill to build the card, but was thinking about which elf to learn the new skill. Only by determining the learning object of the skill can we imagine and construct the skill based on the characteristics of the elf itself. This advanced skill construction card can only build superpower skills. In other words, the only elves that match the attributes of this skill are Mewtwo and Gardevoir. So, who should it be used for? Wang Ming frowned slightly, then relaxed for a moment, as if he already had the answer in his heart. Let's give it to Mewtwo. Mewtwo is my most powerful trump card, both in terms of potential and strength, and it is the most worth cultivating. Besides, Gardevoir has already learned Shadow Ball before. In terms of seniority, it's Cheomung's turn. Men, treat your elf as you would your confidant, both rain and dew. After selecting the elf, Wang Ming began to think about what kind of skills to build for Cheomung. According to Mewtwo's character, the skills he builds must be domineering and show off the demeanor of a king. He has an aura of domination in the sky and on earth. The opponent must surrender as soon as he takes action. This is in line with his identity. Wang Ming murmured softly. Suddenly, a figure that reached heaven and earth gradually appeared in his mind. Yes, let's build it based on his abilities. Wang Ming thought of the characters in an anime he had seen before. The heroic spirit in Fate Stay, Gilgamesh. Commonly known as the enthusiastic citizen Jin Shining. His skill is called domineering. As soon as he made a move, 10,000 treasure weapons were shot out, like a rain of golden arrows, with full suppressive power and unimaginable power. This kind of ability just fits the image of Cheomung. With the idea in mind, Wang Ming directly used the advanced skill construction card and began to construct the scene in his mind when the skill was used. First of all, it is a land of rolling mountains. Cheomung's eyes were blazing, like two purple suns, standing quietly on the top of the mountain, like a peerless strong man, full of momentum. After a moment, Cheomung slowly raised his right hand, and purple ripples began to appear behind it. Immediately afterwards, among the ripples, sharp swords made of dark purple superpower appeared and emerged one by one. Suddenly, Cheomung suddenly opened his palms, and two beams of light shot out from his eyes that penetrated the sky. The countless purple swords behind him seemed to sense something and poured out at this moment, turning into a rain of arrows that filled the sky and shot towards the mountains in the distance. Rumble. Smoke and dust billowed all over the sky, turning into raging tides and rushing around. Mountains disintegrated in the billowing smoke and collapsed, turning into countless debris and rocks, flying around. The aftermath was so powerful that it destroyed towering trees, and even adjacent hills were reduced to flat ground. The sound was deafening, resounding 90,000 miles into the sky, startling a large number of birds and beasts hiding in the distant mountains. This is a devastating scene that makes people unable to calm down for a long time. After a long time, Wang Ming slowly opened his eyes. At this time, the system sound also rang. Ding! Skill building is complete. It has been detected that the power of the skill you built exceeds the standard and has been automatically reduced to an appropriate value for you. Ding! The skill learning machine has been distributed, please check it yourself. Friendly reminder. Since this skill is a self-created skill, you can name it yourself. Is this too much? Wang Ming was a little surprised, but he was relieved immediately. After all, the scene he just imagined almost scared him. I don't know how much the power has been reduced by the system. With curiosity and expectation, Wang Ming couldn't wait to check out the new skill learning machine. Skill name, unnamed. Skill power, 90. Skill description. Use powerful superpower to condense thousands of swords and shoot them at the opponent, causing high special damage to the enemy. The number of condensed swords is related to the user's own strength. The stronger the strength, the greater the number. Special effect. After the skill hits, there is a certain probability that the opponent will fall into a bleeding state, losing 1/8 of one's maximum health each round. Skill range. All. Yes, very good. Although the power does not reach the maximum 100, this special effect is still very good, and it is also a group attack skill. It is definitely a magical skill in doubles. Wang Ming's face blossomed with joy. Although the power was lower than he expected, overall he was still very satisfied. By the way, you have to give it a loud name. A domineering skill must of course have a good name to set it off. What's a good name? After thinking about it for a while, Wang Ming had a good idea. Let everything be disillusioned. Mighty, domineering and extraordinary. As soon as this move is used, everything in the world will turn into phantoms and destroy the silence. Not only does it match the scene when the move is performed, but the name also sounds very domineering. That's it. The system will disillusion everything Cheomung learns. Ding! Your elf has learned a new skill called disillusionment. Wang Ming clicked on Cheomung's message. Elf. Mewtwo. Gender. No gender. Qualification. Gold. Level. Level 38. Attribute. Super ability. Characteristics. Sense of oppression gives the opponent a sense of oppression, greatly reducing the number of moves they use. Hidden characteristic. Tension makes the opponent nervous and unable to use the fruit. Carrying item. Curved spoon. Skills. Immobilization, telekinesis, mental waves, mysterious guardianship, sharpening, high-speed stars, predicting the future, autosuggestion, eye of miracles, mental blade, power exchange, defense exchange, self-regeneration. Acquired skills. Disillusionment of all things. Very perfect. Mewtwo is, and so is he. Come on, Brother Meng, show me a trick. Cheomung nodded lightly and looked at a unicorn insect not far away. Hey, little Bai Mao, what are you looking at? Have you never seen such a handsome Chong Chong? Do you still want to read it? Believe it or not, I will stab you to death with my horns and you to pieces. The unicorn bug is very arrogant, like a teenager. Unfortunately, it didn't know what a terrifying existence it had provoked. Cheomung didn't argue with it, and raised his right hand slightly. A purple ripple began to float above the head of the unicorn insect. Hee, it's purple and black, it looks pretty good. The next moment, Cheomung slowly stretched out his fingers, and swords condensed with superpower shot out from the ripples in an instant. Boom boom boom. Smoke and dust rose everywhere, filling the entire forest. The terrifying air waves blew down several large trees around them, causing them to fall to the ground in a mess. But the one-horned insect had already turned into ashes and disappeared into thin air. The power is not bad, it can be used as a special move. Wang Ming is still very satisfied with the power shown by the disillusionment of all phenomena. After taking Cheomung back, Wang Ming thought that there might be many players who wanted to enter Area 6, so he simply opened the trading system. Sure enough, as soon as I entered, a lot of application information popped up. After processing the information one by one, Wang Ming's wealth also reached a terrifying amount. Looking at the long series of numbers, Wang Ming felt much more beautiful. At this moment, Wang Mengmeng sent him a private message. Big bad guy, are you here? Can you drag me into Area 6? Hey, this cute girl with big breasts has quite good news. Wang Ming raised his eyebrows and replied. Pay the money first, the admission fee and the hourly payment. You are a good person and there is no credit. You big money addict. Here you go, here's 3,000, I'll cover it for an hour, so there's no need to look for it. Wang Ming was stunned, as if he didn't expect Wang Mengmeng to be so generous. Big boobs. If you think about it carefully, it's really possible. Hey, Dasha Niu, why are you so generous all of a sudden? Wang Ming still couldn't help his curiosity and asked. It's not about being generous, it's about being grateful. You helped me so much in the game world, but I didn't help you with anything. Now that I have nothing but money, I can only use this method to make up for you. Wang Ming chuckled, feeling a little embarrassed. I didn't expect this girl to be quite honest. I used to think she was just a big-breasted and brainless troll, but now it seems that's not the case either. Well, there are actually many ways to repay, and you don't have to use this method. It makes me seem like a mercenary villain. Is there any other way? But I can't think of it. There are many. For example, if you send me more cool photos of you, of course, the ones with bikinis would be better. Hey you big pervert, why don't you just say look at your breasts? It's not impossible. Then, look at the breasts. Eventually, the two ended their chat in a farcical manner. Tisk, 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 there are still many people with conscience in this world. Wang Ming looked at the cool photo in his hand and smacked his lips. At this moment, a message in the chat channel caught his attention. Elf balls are urgently needed. If you are willing to sell them, please contact me. I will charge you as much as you want. The price is negotiable. Wang Ming clicked on the chat channel and was immediately shocked. Because there are countless similar messages and can be seen everywhere. Are Pokeballs already so scarce? Wang Ming was stunned for a moment, then he understood after thinking about it for a moment. The opening of area gives players another opportunity to capture wild elves. As a necessary prop for catching wild elves, the elf ball has naturally become extremely precious. It is estimated that many people are now facing the embarrassing situation of not having enough elf balls. How can they sell the extra ones to others? Wang Ming felt relieved when he thought of me like this. I guess the price of Pokeballs is going to go up. Wang Ming muttered to himself. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration flashed in his mind. Yes, I happen to have a bunch of Pokeballs in my system backpack that are just eating ashes. Rather than letting them continue to eat ashes, it's better to let them shine in the hands of others. Back in the game world, he had opened a lot of low-level treasure boxes, most of which were elf balls. Therefore, he has far more Pokeballs stored than others. Now that prices have risen, it's time for him to take action. Without any hesitation, Wang Ming directly opened the auction function, auctioned 50 Pokeballs, and issued an announcement. Auction of 50 ordinary elf balls, with a base price alliance coins, and each increase in price will be no less than, and the higher bidder will win. As soon as this news came out, the entire chat channel exploded. Black, so dark, where is the law of heaven when profiteers are in power? Okay, you poor bumpkins, stop barking. You just watch while you have no money. Why are you comparing yourself to that idiot? The smelly boss talks too much. Being rich is a big deal, isn't it? Sorry, having money is great. Soon, there will be bids. But there were not many bidders. After all, 10,000 alliance coins was not a small amount, and few people could afford it. Sorry, everyone, I overlooked this point. I didn't expect you to be so poor. In this way, I will send another auction with a lower price to allow more people to participate. Wang Ming issued an apology announcement very sincerely. But no matter how you look at it, it looks like he is showing off, and people can't help but want to beat him up. 10 elf balls are auctioned with a base price of elf coins. Each increase in price shall not be less. The higher bidder will win. At this time, there were obviously many more people participating in the auction. However, there are still many people cursing in the chat channel. Hold, this time it's even darker. The capitalists cried when they saw it. Player, you are really disrespecting your talent by not doing business. In response, Wang Ming just replied lightly. What are you barking at? You have no money, do you blame me? I am not a philanthropist, so do I still have to take care of your feelings? After posting several more auction messages, Wang Ming closed the trading channel. The so-called out of sight, out of mind, instead of listening to those poor players complaining, wouldn't it be nice if he had this time to pick up a few more treasure chests? Minutes passed by. In order to save time, Wang Ming did not choose to go home, but chose to spend the night here. This night, he slept peacefully. Night, silent. Some people are doing multi-person sports and exercising. Someone was moaning indulgently and practicing their vocalization. However, no one noticed that the evergreen forest was undergoing earth-shaking changes at this time. A mysterious force suddenly fell from the sky, covering the entire evergreen forest and isolating it from the outside world. Invisible barriers rise from the ground and reach into the deepest part of the sky, completely isolating the evergreen forest and forming an independent space. Immediately afterwards, the mist rose and spread in all directions, and the entire evergreen forest was shrouded in it, becoming illusory and misty. If someone stands outside and looks here, they will magically find that the entire evergreen forest seems to have disappeared from this world. At the same time, in the game world, the same thing is happening in Viridian Forest. It's just that this magical change is only limited to Area 6. At this time, Area was completely separated by a mysterious force and shrouded in fog. But the strange thing is that there is a space-like wormhole-like entrance and exit in every direction. In other words, this place is not completely isolated, and you can still enter it with the help of passages. The next day, Wang Ming received a reminder from Tiandao. Friendly reminder. Your early access rights have expired. Area 1 has been integrated with the real world and will be open to all players in minute. So fast. Wang Ming was a little surprised, but he didn't pay too much attention. In fact, the early access permission is not of much use to him. At most, it allows him to make more money and enter here earlier than others to experience. Now, he has made a lot of money. Even if the early access rights are gone, he has nothing to be sad about. 1 minute later, Wang Ming received the entire announcement from Tiandao. Announcement: Area 6889 of the Viridian Forest has arrived in the real world. The geographical coordinates are: players are invited to go there by themselves for adventure experience and capture wild elves. As soon as the Tiandao announcement was issued, it caused a great uproar in Xuanyuan. What does this string of numbers represent? Is there any big boss out there who can explain this? Hey, I'm a big boss, but I'm not a boss. I am a boss, but I am not fooling around. I am a big boss. After my calculation just now, this geographical coordinate should indicate the evergreen forest in P City. Evergreen forest. Is it the virgin forest on the outskirts of P City? Yes. Is it such a coincidence? My home is nearby. Brothers, wait for my news. I will go explore the way for you first. Good people, have a safe journey. Congratulations, big brother. Brother, have a good trip. Don't worry about your wife. I will take care of her. 10 minutes later, the chat channel is buzzing again. Hold, it's true, the evergreen forest is now shrouded in mist, but there is an entrance to enter. After I entered, I actually arrived at area of Viridian Forest. It's absolutely unmistakable, I caught elves here yesterday. The news was confirmed, and everyone couldn't sit still. Brothers, come on, the future world belongs to us. Ollie gives it. I must capture a female elf this time. It's too small, the pattern is too small, I want to catch 10 of them. Have you realized a problem? Since area is open to the public, did we make a big loss when we paid to enter it yesterday? Hey, when you say that, my heart suddenly hurts. Gone, evil player, come out. Refund the money. However, Wang Ming did not know that a group of players were sending him the warmest greetings. Now that these parts of the two worlds have been integrated, it won't be long before people from the two worlds may come into contact. I wonder what will happen then, and how will the country plan to deal with this matter? Wang Ming thought more and considered many issues. But no matter what the world will become in the end, strength is always the greatest guarantee. I still have to improve my strength as soon as possible and gain a firm foothold before the new world arrives. Wang Ming murmured to himself, with 2 bright rays of light shooting out of his eyes. The fusion of the two worlds may be a disaster for others, but for him it will be an unprecedented opportunity. If he grasps it properly, he may not have the possibility of becoming the master of the new world. Thinking of this, Wang Ming couldn't help but have a look of pride on his face. At this moment, Tiandao's voice sounded again. Announcement: this integration area is limited to Jobin Forest area. During this period, this area is a public area and people from both worlds can enter freely. Announcement: due to incomplete space integration, players cannot enter the game world through this area. Similarly, people in the game world cannot enter the real world through this area. Announcement: as the integration progress continues to improve, this restriction will be greatly broken. Players can freely enter the game world, and people in the game world can also freely enter the real world. By then, more and more places in the two worlds will merge with each other. Announcement: Tiandao would like to remind you that a brand new world is coming. Players are asked to take control of it and create their own storm in the new world. As the voice of Tiandao fell, the whole world boiled. Because this time the announcement is not just for gamers, but the whole world. Beautiful country, White House. Mr. President, our nuclear weapons are all disabled. Suddenly, Taimopu fell down on the chair, his eyes were blurred, and he seemed to have lost his soul. Nuclear weapons are the most powerful weapons in the world and the most beneficial means of deterrence. Without nuclear weapons, how can our beautiful country be a global hegemon and dominate the world? At this moment, another person hurriedly walked in and reported, Mr. President, after receiving a secret report, the world has undergone tremendous changes. All nuclear weapons in the world have become ineffective overnight. Taimopu was stunned for a moment, then his expression softened slightly. If all the nuclear weapons in the world fail, then his beautiful country will still have the possibility to dominate the world with its cutting-edge technology. Suddenly, a voice sounded over the entire beautiful country. That was the announcement from heaven. The new world is coming. Taimopu opened his mouth in shock. As the failure of nuclear weapons related to the arrival of a new world. If that's the case, then. Two golden lights suddenly shot out from Taimopu's cloudy eyes. Quickly, check it out for me. Where are the coordinates that the voice said? With the arrival of the new world, we must take advantage of it and use the power of the new world to dominate this world again. No, maybe two worlds. At this time, similar things are happening not only in the beautiful country, but also in various countries around the world. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.